The views expressed on Talk Real Solutions, hosted by Tyrone Thompson at TalkRealSolutions.com, are the views of Tyrone Thompson and do not reflect the views of TalkRealSolutions.com, YouTube, or etc. The content here belongs to Talk Real Solutions and its many contributors. Views and opinions expressed by all contributors belong to them and not TalkRealSolutions.com or Tyrone Thompson, the host, or etc. All data and information provided on the site is for informational purposes only. Talk Real Solutions makes no representations as to accuracy, completeness, correctness, suitability, or validity of any information on this site and will not be liable for any errors, omissions, or delays in this information or any losses, injuries, or damages arising from its display or use. All information is provided on an as-is basis.
Welcome to the show. This is Talk Real Solutions, and I am your host, Tyrone Thompson. I want to thank you for tuning in. Today is November the 6th, 2025. And if you want to join the conversation, all you have to do is, you can look on YouTube, or you can just dial into the number at 1-717-908-1834, and I'll get you on the line here. The access code is 917-324, and you'll get a chance to speak your mind, say whatever it is you want to say, and I will not interfere with you. All I ask is that if somebody else is talking, just allow them to talk, please, and try not to talk over me. Shit. Everybody likes to talk over. I don't know what it is. I think it's my voice. I don't have one of those voices that everybody respects. So regardless of what I'm saying, or people could just think I ain't got shit worth listening to. I don't know. But every time I talk, everybody wants to talk over me, no matter who it is. They want to talk over me, and I'm like, well, shit. I guess I'll just sit back and wait. But yeah, just try to respect one another when you call into the show, and I don't mind. It is what it is. I've been doing this shit for so long. I'm used to it. I don't give a shit. It don't bother me like that. I just try to keep in mind that there's other people listening, and maybe people want to hear another opinion besides the person that's hogging the mic. That's just my way of trying to manage the conversation. But anyway, welcome to the show. Here we are, guys. Still in this hellhole called America, this racist ass country, and the white supremacists and racists are being white supremacists and racists. We've had these conversations on this show for years. At one point in time, it was almost like speaking and people had grounds to push back on. You know what I mean? But I mean, if you're living in America right now and you don't agree with what Talk Real Solution have been saying for years, I don't know what the fuck wrong with you. You're blind. You're blind. The racism is here. White supremacists are being white supremacists, and they are in power now. They are in power, and they're running throughout the country, tearing up the systems and organization that was put in place to protect people. And we haven't seen the worst of it yet. What's up, East Coast? We haven't seen the worst of it yet, guys. I'm afraid to say so, but this is not the worst of it. Before it's all over with, you will be able to attribute starvation to these people. You'll be able to attribute death to these people, hunger, all of the bad things will be caused by these racist ass people in power now. And I'm not just saying something, making something up, because history tells us this is what they do over and over and over again. You see throughout history how whenever you have leaders like the ones that we have in Washington right now, what happens to society? Um, they've already kind of completed step one. I ain't gonna say step one, but one of the steps in developing this cult following, and the following of people that think they can't do no wrong and stand up and defend these people all the time. We got one in the chat room right now. ABC. I don't know. This boy been on a ride for years, and he's just steady hanging on in there. You know, I don't know what the fuck it's gonna take for these people to wake up. But the biggest thing that I think is going on right now that people should pay attention to is the government shutdown. There's a reason that these people. What's up, MJ? There's a reason for these. There's a reason that these people actually wanted power so they can be in charge of telling people what to and what not to do. Have access to the resources so they can cut them off. Pick and choose which demographic is favored. This is racism 101. And that's what's going on right now with the government shutdown. Never in America's history has the government shutdown, and y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, included food stamps. This is the first time that I'm aware that when the government shut down, food stamps are involved. So let's pull back the layers on why food stamps are involved. So there's been decades of propaganda against the black community and its relationship to food stamps. It kind of started with Ronald Reagan and the welfare queen. And then you hear the rumors about black people standing in the store with shopping carts full of bad food to eat, buying crab legs and caviar with food stamps, or even taking their food stamps to cash them in for or trade them in for cash. In other words, the stereotypes about black people abusing the system ran rapid. Now, I'm not dismissing some abuse of the system. I'm not saying that that doesn't happen. But what I am saying, the abuse that was happening was probably a small percentage of the recipients that receive food stamps, and it shouldn't justify cutting out the whole system. I mean, we live in a system of laws, and if somebody is abusing the system, there should be a structure in place to highlight those people and punish them accordingly. That's what should happen whenever you break the law or do something wrong. Whenever you sign up for these these programs, there's rules to follow. If you break the rules, then they either penalize you or take your assistance. It's never been a time in history where a government shutdown involved the taking of SNAP benefits or food stamps. So I'm highlighting that, and I'm telling you somewhat of a history of how the propaganda against black people and food stamps are related, which allows the justification of what they're doing in their minds is that they think that they are hurting black people by taking the food stamps, and that justifies even the poor white people that receive food stamps. They think that the government is justified by doing this because it's not going to hurt them, right? It's not going to hurt them, so they look at the government as being justified and taking the food stamps, even though they're going to get hurt. It's crazy. It's crazy. So whenever you look at what we got going on, the government shutdown, them getting rid of the federal workers, them deporting migrants, them wanting the Democrats to cave on this shutdown, it's all majority angled towards black people. Now, y'all gonna say, well, I don't see it. Well, you don't have to goddamn see it, but that's what the hell is going on. That's that's the way this country has been running ever since we got here. Something needs to happen. You point the finger at black people, and then you make laws around black people so the other people will be satisfied. That's what the fuck happened with convict leasing, right? That's what the fuck happened with the war on drugs, right? Time and time again, they make these laws or change these rules or policies after they demonize black people, and then they come up with a justification, and then they implement their policies or rules or laws because they've demonized the black person first, so it won't make the white person feel bad about the new changes. That's what's going on. So now they've cut off food stamps. And not only have they cut off food stamps to black people, but there's a lot of people. I think the number was 40 million people. That's not all black. That is not going to receive their assistance in this country. That shows you how demonic and evil these people is, as they believe that everybody on food stamps is a overweight black woman that says the government owes them, and they want to live off the taxpayer dollars. This is the stereotype. That's what they think. And so you don't hear a whole lot of opposition to the food stamps being shut down right now because they think black people are hurting. But I can guarantee you, the longer this shutdown happen well, the food stamps are taken away, you're gonna see these redneck, hillbilly, cousin fucking white motherfuckers out here in this street raising hell. They already are. I seen some on TikTok mad as fuck, mad as hell about the food stamps being cut off. Just like the damn stupid ass farmers that voted for Donald Trump. They pissed off that they can't sell their soybean crops to China. They're mad as fuck that Donald Trump implemented tariffs that affects their business. But they was okay with voting for this piece of shit as long as they thought it affected other people. The psychology of white people is not hard to figure out. Especially for me, whenever I've been living this life, and I keep bringing up this quote from Lyndon Johnson. I'll bring it up again this week. It says, if you can convince the lowest white man that he's better than the best colored man, he won't notice you're picking his pockets. If you can convince the lowest white man that he's better than the best colored man, he won't notice you picking his pockets. He said, hell, give him somebody to look down on, and he'll even empty his pockets for you. This is the psychology of the white person in this country. Because it doesn't matter how bad off they are, as long as they believe that they are better or better off than the black person, they'll fucking they'll suffer themselves. As long as they think psychologically that they are getting over on black people. You see it all the goddamn time. They have convinced these people that racism is a way that society should exist. And I get it. Their ancestors had it going on. They was living in a utopia. And white people had it going on. And their ancestors passed that bullshit down to them. And they passed it down to their children. They passed it down to their children. Without realizing that the entire time they was getting screwed over. And I can't convince them. Just like ABC, we got a white man in the chat room right now, ABC. I cannot convince that white man that the harm that the Republicans are doing to the country is hurting him too. He's just not convinced of that. And I can't convince the other white man, Sarge, of the same type of argument. They always argue for things that's not good for them. Because they think, like the Lyndon Johnson quote says, since they are the lowest white man, and somebody told them that they're better than the lowest black man, they think that they're shitting in high cotton. I had a sergeant that used to tell me that. Shitting in high cotton. I ain't never really figured out what that meant, but I ain't gonna go into that. But they think that they better than anything else, anyone else. And psychologically, you can't undo that propaganda, even though it's right there in their face. For instance, I don't know ABC's family. I don't know Sarge's family, right? And I'm not saying anything to attack you guys personally. I'm just giving you examples. ABC clearly has black family, has black nieces and nephews and grandchildren, perhaps. Sarge the same way. And I'm pretty sure every one of those family members, since they're African Americans living in this country, did not graduate from Harvard. And they are living in this economic system in this country. And perhaps some of them are on government assistance. I don't know this to be a fact. I just don't. But I'm assuming, since they are African Americans, men living in this country, they have relatives that are in this system. And when Donald Trump took away the SNAP benefits, and if their relatives are on SNAP, they're willing to sit back and cheer on the fact that this white man is causing damage or harm to their own family members. That's some sick shit, y'all. that is some sick shit. Now, like I said, I'm just using them as examples, and I do not know if that's what's happening in their lives whatsoever. But statistically, I'm pretty sure they are involved at some point in time with this government shutdown. And the sad thing is that they probably turning their eyes, closing their eyes, and not giving a shit about people that's closest to them suffering. I see it on YouTube all the time. I see these black conservatives on YouTube not giving a damn about their own people. Not giving a damn about their own people. So I think it's terrible that the government is doing this and going to these measures with these SNAP benefits. And the reason that I'm talking about it is because I believe a judge has ordered this administration to use the contingency funds to fund the program, and the Trump administration is still using it. Still not um, not handing out the benefits. And that's got me to thinking, how sick can these motherfuckers be? How demented, how fucking horrible can you be if you are one of the richest men on the planet and you are the head of the strongest country on this planet and you have everything that you want in your life, so much so that your toilet is gold, so much so is that you're just putting up gold shit all over the place. That's how much money you got. And one of your responsibilities, once you swore in, was to take care of the American people. From the richest to the least fortunate. And when it's your turn to actually take care of the children in this country, you take away their health care. You literally take food out of these children's mouths. How sick can you be? We already knew you was a sick individual because your sexual habits involve children. Your friends involve the world's biggest pedophile. We already knew you was sick in the head. But I didn't know you was that demented that you would take food out of the mouths of children, either for politics or political positioning or whatever the reason is. There's no justification for doing this, right? There's no justification for doing this. It has nothing to do with migrants on I mean, that's been debunked 3 weeks ago. Whenever they said they were shutting down the government because migrant was getting fucking medical care. It don't take long. Google is your friend, and it don't take long to find out that that's some bullshit. So once you eliminate that as a cause, what is the reason for shutting down the government? And I came to the conclusion that it's political posturing to get the Democrats to do whatever it is you want them to do so you can take away medical care and provide more money to your rich buddies. This is all that's going on right here. It's nothing complicated. There's nothing complicated. This guy is not complicated. But they spew out all this rhetoric about reasons and why they're doing it and all this kind of bullshit to confuse people like ABC and Sarge. And then that's what I got to listen to when they call in here. It's a bunch of propaganda. And it's sad that we're in this position. I actually wish I could do something like a food drive or help out by providing something for people who don't have, like I don't know. I wish I could do something so people won't have to go through this bullshit because it's bullshit. And I know there's a whole lot of people out there that wants to do right by these people and help them out because the government is fucking silly. Um, it's just sad. And then I've heard that this guy is talking about a third term. And check this out. We just had Halloween, right? With the government shut down and Donald Trump, this stuff is not even, you can't make this shit up. Donald Trump had a Halloween party. Let me see if I can get some images. I don't know if you guys remember like the Roaring Twenties, and there was this movie called The Great Gatsby, where it was about wealthy people, millionaires, and money. Well, Donald Trump Halloween party was in that theme. I think you got a good picture right there of Donald Trump there at this Great Gatsby party. Now, this is during the goddamn shutdown. This is Judge Janine right there with her fucking stupid ass. This lady right here at this fucking party, and Donald Trump sitting up there with like rich people and having a party as the government is fucking shut down. This is the most out of touch, elite administration that don't give a fuck about its constituents whatsoever. So much so that he literally bulldozed the goddamn White House, fires the government workers, drives the economy into a goddamn ditch. Take away SNAP benefits to the less fortunate. And while all this is going on, he having a fucking billionaire themed party. You can't make this shit up. These people are so in your face. And people that are getting this assistance, it's not like they don't have jobs. The people that get this assistance have jobs, but this economy recognize that you are living below the poverty level whenever you qualify for subsidies. They're saying, yeah, you working in this capitalistic system at the lowest level, but you don't make enough money at the lowest level in our capitalistic system to buy fucking food. That's what it says. Okay, so here you go. So in order for you to get it, I'm pretty sure there's certain conditions that you can get it where you don't have to work. But if you're able to work, if you have one household, you can make $1,600 a month, and it says 130% of the poverty level. That's nuts. If you have two people in the household, you can make at least $2,200 gross. That's before taxes. If you have three people, you can make $2,888 gross. Four people, $3,400 gross. That's what you can make on your job before taxes. And that's what the majority of people that are receiving these benefits are doing. They actually are working. They're not sitting around doing nothing. It's just so that we live in a country where if you make $2,600 and you have a family of four, that $2,600 is most likely going to be all spent in rent and utilities. If you have a family of four, and then you won't be able to buy no food. Now, everybody don't have a family of four. I'm going to say people working usually have a child or two. So you're making $1,700 a month is the most you can make. And nobody in this country in 2025 can survive on $1,700 a month. It's just not possible. There is no way, no how, even though you working your 40 hours a week, there's no way in the hell you're going to make it off of $1,700 a month. With two people in the house. That with two, well, you just say you got two children. I'm counting this household size as two children. You're not going to make it. You're not going to make it. The children need supplies. They're going to need school stuff. They're going to need clothes. It's just not going to happen. And rent, hell, that's your rent is gone. There's no way. You can't pay your light bill. You can't pay your water bill. So now these people, I don't know what the hell. Either they're going to get evicted, they're not going to be able to eat. I don't know. I'm not living these people's lives. And I don't know how they're going to manage. But the idea that the government uses their predicament for political reasons is just stupid to me. And I heard some people talking about it's the Democrats' fault, and the Democrats should make a deal with the Republicans so they can open the government and get the SNAP benefits started back. Well, for one, he's breaking the law by keeping those SNAP benefits now. For two, there is no deal to be made with the Republicans. And I am glad that the Democrats are finally standing up to these people. And I hope they don't cave. I really do. Because them caving is just pushing this country further and further to the right. Just like they've always done. And there's this sign that if the Democrats listen, there's a sign that they're on the right side here with the elections that just happened. Listen, the Democrats just won like they have never won before in the recent past. Let me pull this up. I never knew who Mondami was until recently. But the Democrats just won. Oh, let's see. This is CNN. Why y'all got to be so goddamn complicated? I know there was 3 major fucking races that they won, which was New York, Virginia, and New Jersey. And the Democrat just won all of those races. And they was trying hard not to allow Mondami to get elected. They was calling this man a fucking Taliban. They was saying that he hate the Jews. Oh, here you go, right here. I guess this is a good thing here. And this shows you. Oh, you don't see shit. I have to change my thing every time I want to show y'all some shit. This is the New Jersey's governor's race. And it showed you how much the Democrats won by New Jersey. And if you keep going down the street, going down the page, you can see the Democrats won everything. In this race right here, black people showed the fuck up again. This is another indication why voting is important. I know there's a lot of, look at these exit polls here. Look at how many black people participated and voted for this candidate. This the highest demographic out of everybody that voted for this candidate. Now, if you look at the white vote, right? You can see that the white people are still on some bullshit because they didn't vote Democrat. They're still racist. The Hispanic voted for the Democratic candidate. Asians. And I don't know who this other is. So this is why it's important for black people to show the fuck up on these election days. Because it makes a difference. This is New Jersey. This is New York City mayor. And if you look at these polls here, once again, you can see African American lead the way again. And for some reason, they said out of 10% of the Asians, 62% voted for the Democrat. 32% voted for Cuomo, which is bullshit. And you still had black people voting for Cuomo. Don't know what the fuck wrong with them. And then you had the Virginia's race, the Virginia governor's race. Black people did it again. And this is why it's important to show up to the poll. Fuck what they say. If you want to continue to live in a fascist country, if you want to continue to watch Donald Trump just shut down the government at will, if you want to continue to Donald Trump to put the fucking brown shirts in your neighborhoods and vandalize our communities and just hurt innocent civilians, then stay your ass home and don't vote. Because this is what people who didn't vote last time voted into this office. They voted in a racist ass fascist. This is the results of people sitting at home and not showing the fuck up. I've said it once and I say it again. You're not going to get MAGA to change their fucking mind, so fuck them. Fuck ABC, fuck Sarge. They're not going to vote Democrat. There's no even There's no use to even trying to convince them to vote Democrat. It's not going to happen. They're gone. They're in a cult. Their mindset is like a religious cult. You can't convince them. But what you can do is you can recruit new people and encourage the people that are eligible, that has been disenfranchised or feel like their vote don't count. You can encourage them to vote and let them know that it makes a difference. Because New York voted in a damn Muslim mayor. I looked at McDomie's I started looking at his acceptance speech, and I heard them damn fucking people playing that dinga 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 dinga. I was like, oh fuck, these people don't give a shit. They're playing that Indian damn song, that Indian song that was popular not long ago. I wish I could play it on here. It's funny when it started ringing dinga 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 dinga. I'm like, what the fuck? Okay, well, they won, but they won. And McDomie is an American citizen, but he's proud of his heritage, and there is nothing wrong with that. This is America. We are a diverse country, regardless of what ABC and Sarge want you to believe, that this is a white nation, a white Christian nation. It's not. It is not. This country is made up of immigrants, of diverse people, and that's what makes this country strong. Now, do Americans sometimes get mad when immigrants are here? Yeah, I mean, but that's all part of a living in a damn society. You got to learn how to get along with one another, right? You got to learn to live next to your damn neighbor. I believe your fucking Bible tells you that, right? In your goddamn Bible, it wasn't all white fucking Europeans in that goddamn Bible. It just wasn't. So there's no way in the fuck anybody in their right mind should think America should be just a white country. And if you fall up on there's something up on the belief that that should be the case, there's something wrong with you. There's something wrong with you. You've fallen for this religious extremism that is running wild in the Republican Party, and it's taking over the country. And Donald Trump and his ilk is playing into that damn bullshit religion view that somehow or another, if you're not religious, hell, look at what J.D. Vance just went through. Him and Vivek Ramaswamy. These white racist motherfuckers are white racists. J.D. Vance just called hell because he was at this event. I don't know what the fuck the event was for, but he was at this event and he was asked questions about him being a Christian and his wife's religion. And this racist piece of shit, this racist piece of eyeliner wearing couch fucking piece of shit threw his wife up under the bus. I've never seen nobody throw their wife up under the bus the way J.D. Vance threw his wife up under the bus. Instead of honoring her 100%, including her faith, he told millions of people that she was imperfect, that he wishes every day that she would convert to Christianity. He stood there in front of millions of people and let his children know that he was disappointed with his fucking mama because she was of a different faith than he was. That is some of the saddest, dumbest shit that I've ever seen. And another thing that I caught as a non-believer when JD spoke, let me see how I can put this. People used to call in here and tell me, hey, Tyrone, I used to be an atheist. This is what they would call in here and say. I used to be an atheist, and now I'm religious. And I'm telling you, if you were ever an atheist, there is no way in the fuck, there is no way in the fuck that you would ever be a believer again. It's just not possible. Now, can I prove what I'm saying right now when it comes to other people? No, I can't, because I don't know what the fuck is in other people's heart, but I can give you some facts that kind of confirm what the fuck I'm saying right now, to show you that if you were ever a real atheist, you will never become religion again. And I believe JD Vance is an atheist, and his fucking wife, because he said him and his wife were atheist agnostic. That came out of his goddamn mouth. And here's the reason why you're not gonna start believing again. Just like that bullshit Sarge says that he was agnostic, now he believing again. That's bullshit. But for instance, if you were, or if you are an atheist, logically, the things in the Bible does not make sense. You cannot create a whole planet in 7 days. That is impossible. Humans do not walk on water. Humans cannot live in fish. You cannot turn water to wine. You can't wave a magic cane and multiply fish. Just basic things like that, right? That you know you can't reproduce. And as an atheist, once you discover those things and take the religion out of it and say, you know, you can't do that thing. Scientific, this stuff just can't happen. You can't turn around and then say, oh, no, now I believe humans can walk on water again. That just don't make no sense. Once you discover that humans can't walk on water, and you understand logically why humans can't walk on water, there's no way you can convince your goddamn self that humans can walk on water again. There's no way. Once you learn something, it's like riding a fucking bicycle. You can't unlearn that shit. So the Christians and religious people nowadays, they have not learned the actual truth. And that's okay, because that's a part of their mindset for beliefs, for having their beliefs. And y'all can have that. But you can't tell me that you learned the damn truth and became an atheist, and then all of a sudden started to believe in magic again. That's just not a thing. So JD Vance is lying, is my point. Because y'all know I can stay on that shit all goddamn night. Because I think it's bullshit. But JD Vance is lying. And the people that he's talking to are fucking racist. And they let him know that he and his wife is not accepted in the racist Republican Party because of her religion. Because they are fucking racist. They are racist. And that's what I've been screaming for years on end. Vivek Ramaswamy went through the same thing. Let me see if I can find this man's. I got X on this browser? Maybe I got. I don't got X on this browser. I got to log in on my damn username. But I got it. Let me see if I can find this shit. Vivek Ramaswamy. These people are fucking racist. This is Vivek Ramaswamy on X. It's been a couple of days now, so maybe it's on down the line here. But here's a picture with this child. This picture here. This is Vivek Ramaswamy The right wing conservative posted a picture of him and his children on Halloween. Nice looking picture, good looking family, right? Have a happy Halloween. Get a lot of candies, children. But no, this is not what the MAGA is telling them. Look at the post and response to Vivek Ramaswamy. Indian superpower. How do you how do you do white fellows? And this is an Indian man with a surfboard, right? And then look at how this guy's looking, and it says me trying to keep a straight face right now. I don't know, but it's some type of Indian racist joke that these people are posting. The opposite of imperialism is migrating like pests to a formerly imperialist country, not to take it over, but to take advantage of its success in society and to feed off of its resources for survival. They are talking to Vivek. Look, they kicked him out of the country. A guy with a damn colonial suit on or a colonial hat kicking Vivek Ramaswamy in the ass. This is the face you make after scamming investors. Because Indians are known to be on the phone, to be scammers, and the Vivek Ramaswamy and his companies scam people. This is another black guy that's been targeted by the right wing racists. I don't know his name. Is his name Donald Padgett? Okay, so I'm gonna keep going. But my point is that these people don't give a fuck about these people with brown skin. They don't care. They're just fucking racist. And after they use black people up, like they using Sarge and ABC, after ABC promoted ivermectin, after he took the horse pills and everything, they were done with him. So they did a good job about promoting my damn horse pills, but they don't give a fuck. And the next time they need them, they're gonna give them something else to go out here and give them something else to go out here and promote. Look at it. They got Vivek Ramaswamy holding up 2 bottles of piss. These people don't care about. Here's a meme that says ancient Indians eats garbage, shits outside, lives in shanty built of cow shit, like Bob's and Vengeance. I think that's an Indian person. Low IQ scams everyone. And then it says modern Indians. And it's got the same thing. And then the last difference is that, modern Indians have an internet. These people are fucking racist. And this guy is so stupid. He has the Sarge and ABC mentality that on his timeline, it's shit like this constantly. His children has to look at this whenever they get of age, or if they can look at it now. His wife has to see this. And he has to steadily eat fucking shit. You remember this guy in Louisiana, Bobby Jindal? They don't give a fuck about Vivek Ramaswamy or anybody brown, and they don't give a shit about JD Vance's wife. They don't care. So I don't think I can scroll no more. Let me see if I can find JD Vance. I don't know. I'm just shooting in the dark with this one. JD Vance. Does he put a picture of his wife up? I hope not, JD Vance. Well, they don't give a fuck about the vice president either, because they going in on these memes on his goddamn page too. These people don't give a shit. Okay. I was wondering if they, and then, I kind of, let me see. This is JD Vance. I'm sorry, y'all got me again. I'm on Twitter. Let's see what it says on his vice president page. They still keep trolling him on his vice president page. I don't see it's probably down here somewhere, but I don't see nothing about his wife right now. But I can tell you that these people don't give a shit about JD Vance and his white wife. Now, what's been going on, and his Indian wife, but what's been going on is that they, since he went to this speaking engagement, they've been talking about the way he hugged Erica Kirk, and a lot of people are rumors that him and Erica Kirk is supposed to, they would like for them to get together and get rid of Usha Vance so Erica and JD can get together. Oh, who put this fucking thing up here? They got Charlie Kirk as as getting knocked by George Floyd down into hell. I'm gonna download that. See these people right here. I don't know what's wrong with these people. That's funny though. See, this is what I do with my if I got a little bit of scrolling time and I find a meme or something like that that's interesting, I'll snatch it up. But I don't even post no more. I don't even know why I'm saving this picture, but I think it's funny. I don't even post. I would usually repost. That's probably what I just do. Just repost this because it's funny. But these white racists don't give a damn about these people. The Erica Kirk thing, right? It's just a conspiracy. I don't think that there's no there, but it was kind of odd the way she hugged JD Vance. And the way JD Vance held her. That was weird. So that put the whole theory about JD Vance and Erica Kirk getting together because she's a white, blonde hair, blue eyed Christian. And Usha Vance is a Hindu. And because the Republican Party is white racist, they find it hard. Even though Usha Vance is a highly qualified, educated woman, they don't give a fuck about none of that. The Republican Party don't want nobody but white in their damn party. And that don't include ABC and Sergeant. I don't know why the fuck they can't ever see that. But they come over here screaming at me, defending white supremacy and white racism. And these people that they defending don't give a fuck about them. It is crazy to me. Okay, so let me get off Twitter because if I don't, I'm going to keep doom scrolling. All right, so what else do I got to say? Did I say anything else? Congratulations to the winners of all of those elections. And I think that this is a signal, guys. I was surprised that every race that the Democrats was in, they won. The Republicans, as you can see, when you look at these exit polls, the Republicans, they didn't perform well at all. Hold on. I thought CNN had better polls than that. Oh, yeah, they do. The Republicans didn't perform well at all in any races. That's Virginia. Attorney General. New York City. And listen, the people in New York, black people, I'm glad y'all showed the fuck up and actually got out there and voted. So that's what I was getting around to. Listen, all this bullshit on social media about black people getting off the Democrat plantation, black people, the Democrats ain't did shit for y'all. All of that dumb shit that y'all hear from FBA and Umar Johnson and whoever the fuck else on social media telling black people not to participate in the election, y'all need to let that shit go, because what you're doing is you're putting the country at risk by allowing these racist fascists to take charge and take away things like the voting rights, take away things like access to your ballot box, and change the rules for black people in this country. Now, if the Democrats win back and restore some of those rights, right, y'all gonna look at it like y'all didn't achieve shit. That's what the fuck you gonna look at. But I doubt they're gonna do it because they ain't got the Supreme Court. But if the Democrats win, listen to me. Now, this is an extreme scenario. If the Democrats win the presidency, the House, and the Senate, they can change the Supreme Court. This is a strategy. If the Democrats win the House, the Senate, and the presidency, if they have a fucking spine, they can put at least, what is it, 9 now? 3 to 4, what is it, 3, 6, 6, 7, 8, 9. So there's 6 to 3 now, right? So if they put 4 more justices on the goddamn Supreme Court, because they will have the power to do so, the Supreme Court can't stop them. Nobody can stop them if they win the presidency, the House, and the Senate. I guess it would have to go through the House and then to get approved by the Senate, and then the presidency approves it, right? They can put 3 more justices on the is it 3? 6. Yeah, I think my math ain't right now. They got 6, right? And we got 3. So we're gonna need what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I think we're gonna need 3 more justices, so they can put 3 more justices on the goddamn Supreme Court. That will be a game changer. That would be a game changer. Fuck their rules. We seen that they don't give a fuck about the rules. We seen that they don't give a fuck about the rules. We seen that they didn't give a fuck about the rules when they did what they did on the Supreme Court and forced people on the Supreme Court, unqualified people. And that's exactly what the Democrats need to do. Take a note from Gavin Newsom. When he seen Texas trying to gerrymander, Gavin Newsom said, hell, if that's the way y'all gonna play golf ball, this is the way California's gonna play ball. And they passed Prop 50 the other night. Because this ain't normal times in politics. The Democrats need to get away from thinking that somehow or another they're going to be decorum again. The Republicans are going to come to their senses. They're not. They're not. So in the midterms, they need, if they win all 3, that's exactly what they need to do. And not only do they need to do that, they need to codify some of these bills that they pass. They need to make sure that they attack lower prices for housing and rent. Now the energy is up and down, and I don't know what kind of control Congress would have over that. But I do know that they can do something about these grocery prices. I do know that they can do something about the high cost of living in this damn country, and I know that they can do something about healthcare. And they need to run on the fact that Donald Trump and the Republicans allowed food to be taken away from children in this country, because that's exactly what they did. And at the same time, he had a Great Gatsby motherfucking Halloween themed party. Oh, I'm talking too much. Let me see if there's in my own line. Yeah. Okay, so let me shut up. All right. So listen, guys, if y'all want to call in, the number to call in is 717-908-1834. Y'all see I ain't doing it but running my damn mouth. What's up, Sister Nobody? You there?
Yes, I'm here. Hey, Tyrone.
What's happening?
How you doing?
All right, all right.
Listen, as you were speaking about the mayor, I went and I was looking at because ABC wrote something in their chat, so I went and I looked. I'm trying to get my thoughts together. I'm
Uh-huh.
sorry. I went and I looked, and I'm gonna have to look a little bit more, but his mother is very interesting to me
Who
because his
Mondami's
mother.
mother?
Oh yes,
Uh-huh.
yes. She was married to a Epstein,
She
to a
was?
Mitchell Epstein. So,
So was there any relation to that?
well, his mother did a film, was a filmmaker, and she did a movie um, with Denzel. Well, Denzel Washington was in the movie about Mississippi something, about a black man with the Indian woman. So, yeah, I was just looking. I'm just looking. I thought it was weird that she was married to Epstein at one time, Mitchell Epstein, who was also a filmmaker, and then divorced him and married um, whatever that guy's father name is. I thought it was interesting. But anyways, I'm just putting it out there. Just thought it was
Well, is her
interesting.
name Mira uh Nair?
Yeah, yeah.
Because as soon as you said it, I started Wikipedia. But I mean, are you saying that that's kind of has some association with Jeffrey Epstein or something like that?
Well, most of the Epstein's, if you look into their backgrounds that related to that guy, they're into filmmaking.
Oh,
Um, so I thought it was interesting that you know, just my mind, just looking, just I thought it was just interesting because I was like, he doesn't really look all the way Indian. You know what I mean? He looks European and Indian.
uh huh.
So I don't know. I was just looking. I was just looking. Ah, don't pay me no mind. I'm just here. I'm here to support you, Tyrone. That's all. But I just
Well,
found that interesting.
yeah, I don't think they're related. It look like Epstein is a Jewish name. So they might,
Right, and he's Jewish.
yeah.
Epstein, the one that she married to, Mitchell Epstein, was Jewish. They did divorce, and then she married to old boy's pops.
Yeah.
But if you look at if you look at him, he looks, he doesn't look all the way Indian. He looks mixed to me.
Who the Mitch Epstein?
No, the mayor guy.
Oh, Zamdamni.
Mhm.
Well, he's mixed with Jew. If this is his daddy, he's mixed with Jew and Indian. Jew and Indian. If that's
No,
his
I'm not
daddy,
saying that's his daddy. I don't know. I don't know.
let me see who
But
his
yeah, but anyway,
daddy is.
I'm gonna have to do look a little bit further to see if there's some connection. But most of the Epstein's are into real estate, filmmaking.
Oh well, no,
Um,
Zoran looks like his daddy. His daddy name is Mahmoud Mamdani, and his face is on the
mhm.
screen. His face is on the screen right now, so he looks like his daddy.
Let me look. Let me look.
He got some of his mama's features, and he got his daddy's feature. But you know what? Just talking to Sister Nobody, guys, I just listen. These Jews are something else. Epstein is a Jew, and that Jew ran the largest pedophile child trafficking sex ring in American history. Now, I'm not saying all Jews, and you don't can't don't say that I'm anti-Semitic, but goddamn it, when these Jews get power, you see what the hell they do. And the funny thing about the Jews is they about to go the way of the Indians in the Republican Party. Because I don't give a shit who you are or what walk of life you come from. If you're not a white Anglo-Saxon European male, these people don't want you in the damn Republican Party. And these racists in the Republican Party, they're turning on the damn Jews now, which was expected. But because the Jews done smelled their own ass, and they buddied up with the Republican Party, and being all racist and shit. Look at Ben Shapiro, racist ass motherfucker, a Jew. These white people are attacking him because he's a Jew. Because white racists are white racists. They don't want no Jews involved. And they don't give a damn. The only reason that the Jewish people ties is strong with white America is because of Israel, right? And that's political. But if you are a white racist, you don't give a damn about just what they were screaming in Charlottesville. The Jews will not replace us. So the Jews are just as dumb as the Indian people and the coon black people and the coon Hispanic people. We will vote for Donald Trump people. They just as stupid as all of that damn group of people that's snuggling up to the goddamn right-wing racists in this damn country. These white racists are white fucking racists. They're purists. They don't want anybody else that's not a Anglo-Saxon involved with them. And another thing about the damn Jews, I don't give a shit, fuck them. Listen, it always confused me about how can a Christian accept Jews when the Jewish people do not believe Jesus is a God. And I'm not even, these aren't my words. Google, this is your results. Google. So I'm reading from you, Google. This is what it says. Do the Jewish people believe in Jesus? It said, for the Jews, the significance of Jesus must be in his life rather than his death, a life of faith in God. For Jews, not Jesus, but God alone is Lord. So what they're telling you is Jesus is not a God. See, they think Jesus is a prophet. So the Jewish people do not think that Jesus is part of this holy trinity. The Jewish people don't believe in your God, Jesus. They just don't. And if you are religious and someone don't believe in your God, then you're not even supposed to get along with them. That's why they talking shit about Usher Vance and Vivek Ramaswamy, because they're Hindu. They don't believe. If you're really religious and believe in the Bible, and someone don't take your God as the one and only God, then you supposed to cast them out, just like you would do an atheist. But somewhere down the line, they came up with this fucking bullshit about Zionists and what they call that, Judeo-Christian. That it's just stupid. How you do that, Judeo? I don't know how to spell it. How you spell Judeo? Oh, there you go. All right, and this is what it says a Judeo-Christian is. It's a term used to describe the shared origins of values of Judeo-Christians and Christianity. Through the usage of is complex and debated, it can refer to the theological link with Christianity, deriving from Judaism and recognizing Jewish scripture as the Old Testament. No, it's not. The Jewish scripture is the fucking Tumad or whatever the fuck they call that, and the Old Testament is the Old Testament. See how they mixing shit together? Or to the broader cultural or ethical framework, particular as the foundation of the Western civilization. However, the term criticized for being historically inaccurate and sometimes used to politically to exclude other groups, despite the initial use of the promotion. So if you're a Judeo-Christian, you've got to take on their religious views, and you got to take on Christianity religious views and mix the two together. That's some bullshit. That's some bullshit, because the Bible is the Bible. Okay, so and then when you go with this Zionist bullshit, a Zionist is a person who supports the development and the protection of a Jewish nation in its historical homeland, Israel. Which is some bullshit, because I don't think Israel was created until 1945. So they ain't got shit to do with historical Bible shit. Let me see. Israel creation. Y'all got me looking up this shit again. 1948. So the Israel that they're talking about wasn't created until 1948. So how the fuck is you gonna embrace Israel, this modern day Israel, as being biblical when you stole the land from the Palestinians and you're creating it in an image to support the modern day fucking bullshit Jews that don't even believe in your goddamn God? So
hey, Tyrone.
Go ahead. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to start talking. Go ahead.
Mitch Epstein is the father of Zoran, of the guy, the mayor.
Mitch Epstein is the daddy?
Mm-hmm.
So where did I get Mumad from? Because I typed in Zoran Mandami's father.
According to AI, I put Mitch Epstein's son, and he came up.
Well, it must be through marriage or something. Let me Wikipedia this.
It ain't gonna show up on Wikipedia, but it will show up if you type in Mitch Epstein's son.
Mm-hmm. Well, it could be mixed, because Epstein is a Jew, and she definitely was a damn Indian. Because she took this picture with that red dot on her head. I ain't gonna talk about. I won't talk about nobody's religion, but I ain't gonna do that. But you got your own religion. You can have your Hinduism. You can have your whatever. But there ain't nowhere in the hell that the Jews and the Christians should ever get a goddamn loan. It just don't make no sense to me. And that shows you that American Christians are dumb as shit. There's something wrong with the American Christian that is embracing the Jews. Now, I never side with racists. But I'm going to tell you, the racists are taking the correct stance when they oppose the Jewish people, because Christians are not. Hell, they killed Jesus. I think.
Well, maybe I'm wrong. Huh? I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, you go ahead.
No, I might be wrong. I might have read writings wrong. I got you, though. Go ahead.
Okay. I think Judas was a goddamn Jew, and he the one who tricked Jesus Christ, or went and told on Jesus Christ. You know, this mythical story that got Jesus crucified. Let me see. I don't. Was Judas a damn Jew? Okay, yeah, here you go, right here. So these Christians all fucked up. The Christians is all fucked up, and I get what they're saying, because in the Bible, somewhere it says that the Holy Land is supposed to be occupied by the chosen people, and the chosen people are the Hebrews, and the Hebrews somehow or another is supposed to be the modern day Jews, and that's where these black idiots confuse them damn selves with being a goddamn Hebrew and the chosen people, and they didn't come into development until the 1950s or 60s or whatever the fuck. These people just fucked up. But it says, yes, Jesus was a Jew. Jesus and his 12 apostles, including Judas, were all Jewish men living in the first century. So I don't know what this whole embrace of these damn Jewish people is, besides the fact it's got something to do with money and the delusion that Christians and Jews have about Israel being this holy land, and whenever their Jesus come back, that's where they're supposed to that's where he's supposed to touch down at. That's but whenever you look at it, it is so mind-boggling to me how the Christians and the Jews could be intertwined the way they are, and their whole belief systems are fucking different. The Jews do not believe in your Jesus the way you believe in your Jesus. The Jews believe that your Jesus was just a man or a prophet. And I believe the Jews believe in the God of the Old Testament. And the Christians today discount the Old Testament and they go by the New Testament. It's all fucked up. It really is. It's all fucked up. And I don't understand how they're mixed up. But the point that I'm trying to make is, if you are a Jewish person or an Indian person of anybody other than Anglo-Saxon white, eventually this Republican Party and these white racist nationalists in this country is going to tell you to kiss their ass, just like they did Candace Owen, just like they did Vivek Ramaswamy. I don't know what the fuck happened to Nikki Haley. I don't know what the hell happened to Tim Scott. They're going to tell you to kiss their ass if you're a fucking Jew. If you're a Jew, they don't like you either. I'm not telling you to join our side because you're a piece of shit, but I'm telling you that they don't like you either. Now look, I get a Jews credit in America historically, because the Jews was a big part of the civil rights. So I'm not going to take that actions from them. But the way AIPAC is acting nowadays, these Anti-Defamation League, which is Jewish ran, those people are racist. Stephen Miller is a goddamn Jew, but he's a Nazi also, which is fucking crazy. Those people are racist. The Jewish that's in the Trump administration people, they want to be white supremacists, and that's the way they're headed. So I don't know how I got off talking about all that shit, but Miss Elisa, welcome to the show. How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing okay, Tyrone. How's everyone doing? You know, I had forgot about the show because I was on the phone just running my mouth with somebody.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, it's Thursday night. But I'm doing okay. So I missed all of your monologue and everything you was talking about. I hear what you're talking about now.
Well, yeah,
But
I touched
I
on
don't
the
have any,
election. I touched on the election, the SNAP stuff, and you know, things that are kind of going on. So if you got
the
anything to say
horrible
about,
things that's
yeah,
going on. Yeah, so the same old, same old. because it seems like we're still in the same, still in the same standstill, almost, that we were in last week. So, you know, just that's what it feels like. They said we should be like in a standstill, waiting to see what's going to happen next. Uh, as far as like with this snap thing,
Mm.
I just don't know I just don't know what to say about that because you don't want to feed the people, but they're using that to hurt the people to force the Democrats to come back. But if anybody has been on the health insurance thing and you went to go fill out to renew because this open enrollment is going on right now, and they cannot lie when they said no, it's not this. The insurance is like no. The people are seeing it. How that stuff mine doubled in a half, and so it is what it is. So um, I don't know. I really don't know what to say. And if you would ask, do I still have hope? Yeah, yes I do. I still have hope. I know some people will say I don't understand why, but I got hope. And just to see where things have been. And you was talking about what is that, Nick Fuentes and them?
Yeah.
Look like they trying to take over the party. Let 'em. But they not, I don't think they're going to be able to.
No, they
But
already.
the thing is,
Listen, Elisa, the white racist Nick Fuentes is the Republican Party, and
no, I
that
know that. I know
the
that.
the
But they
Ben
are, that's MAGA on steroids, Nick
yeah
Fuentes and them.
the Ben
That's
Shapiro's
MAGA on
and the
steroids.
and the Jewish people that's kind of tagging along, they're getting ready to turn on those people because they are Jews, and
Now, I
e- e-
know.
even
I know.
Stephen Miller is a damn Jew. So I don't know. I don't. But the white people ain't never like the Jewish people. They never had, and that's what
No.
confused me. But they get along to go against black people.
But they never liked them, and I guess if people could have to take it way back into the research, I have an idea, but you got to take it way back in the research to even try to figure that out. But yeah, Nick, but yeah, MAGA, if we thought they were straight up awful enough, the Knicks, for instance, well, I forget what you call lady gropers, gropers, gropers. That's MAGA on steroids, and I didn't think you could get worse than that. Because they the type that would start up the same type of thing that went on in Nazi Germany, with the camps and the other stuff that went on. That's just how extreme. I mean, you didn't think that anything could be extremer than MAGA, but you can get it that way.
Oh yeah, these people are
And he
racist.
keeps saying, hmm he keeps saying that uh he's a white man. I would be true. If I never quite understood, is he a white Spaniard? What is
Oh,
his
Fuentes.
background? Yeah, is he a
Yeah.
white
So
man? Is he a white?
I kind of had that same question. I know he's not Mexican, so I think
No,
that
he's
he
not
I
one of
think
those.
that he is the European Spanish people. So they're white. I'm gonna try to find out because I don't know.
I'm looking it up right now too because I never really looked into it to find out exactly what is his ethnicity. But he says he's a white man. So is he a Spaniard? I know they're considered NCTS, but they are a mess. I'm typing it in too because I had been meant to look that up and get into it a little bit more. They said he is a white American identified multiple sources as a white supremacist nationalist. That doesn't answer.
was
Not quite
twins.
natural.
William and Lauren. He was born to William and Lauren Chico. I don't know what that means, so I got to look these people up. I don't know who they is.
Early life education raised in McGrange Park, upper middle class, suburban Chicago. Solitary career. What type of a Spaniard? I was just trying to figure that out. What type of a Spaniard is he? Because I know he's not Nizo Latino. Okay. Nicholas Fuentes, born William is a Chico. He has a twin sister, Melissa, according to Fuentes. He is of Italian and Mexican
There you go.
descent.
So he must be looking at the Italian side or some shit.
He must be going with that because I didn't know that Mexicans were considered Spaniards. I don't know a lot about it. Maybe they are, but I didn't know Mexicans were. Cause I know they speak. I didn't know that. Let me type that in because I don't understand. Let me type that Mexicans considered white. Mexican is a nationality. Well, I know that. Not a race. I know that. Because Mexico can be of any race. The majority of Mexicans are mixed ancestry. Primarily Mestizo, that's what I said, mixed European, indigenous, American descent. But the population also includes individuals who are white and in predominant indigenous, black, or Asian. I guess he's going by the group that's over in Mexico, the white ones that's over there, that he is that. I don't know. He
Yeah.
could be lying. Child, who knows? But that would take a little bit of getting into because Italian and Mexican, I would say you ain't no purebred.
No,
But
but
I
they
guess he's
accept
claiming
Italian
that.
people. They accept Italian people as white all day long. They don't even
No,
question them.
I'm talking about the Mexican part. So like that thing says, they have. I know that Mexican is a nationality. We know that, and there's different groups of people over there. Like they said, African who's Mexican, and you have the whatever. What I turned from it so quickly. Hold on. Um. Uh. The the largest, primarily Mexican, are mestizo, a mix of European indigenous American descent. The population also includes individuals who indigenous, black, Asian, and there are individuals who are white. So I guess his Mexican part, he claimed that's the white Mexican.
Yeah, because you got a lot of Mexicans
So
that look white. Well, I mean, he looks white. I mean, you can tell that he got some Hispanic in him, but he looks white.
So that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking he's claiming the Mexican part or the white one. That's the only thing that I can think. Maybe he had a DNA test or something,
Hmm.
and he was able to trace it to the white Mexican. But I just always thought of them, the Mexicans over there, that the bulk of them were mestizo. But they said there were some white ones, you got some African ones, you had a mixture of indigenous and this and that make up that race. I'm not sorry, that make up that nationality. So whatever. But all of it is just crazy. So
Now, did you
we'll
pay
see.
attention to the elections the other night?
Yes, I did,
I'm
and I
kind of
have to admit, I'm proud. I know I don't know how you feel about it. I'm about to hear, but I have to say I'm proud of our neighbor that makes up the DMV.
hmm
That all of the counties in Virginia, because you know you have Northern Virginia and Southern Virginia. We hook up with Northern Virginia, and the Northerners usually just rule out because that's where the bulk of the money is at in Northern Virginia.
And they have wanted to separate from Southern. They talk, that comes up every once in a while, that they want to split it into two states. But you already have West Virginia and then Virginia, and they want to split Virginia into North Virginia and South Virginia. So that comes up every once in a while. The northern parts want to split from the southern part. But I have to say, I am proud of them that every county, and if you're familiar with Virginia, like some of them southern counties and stuff, I don't know them unless we're driving through headed south. But the northern ones, yeah, the ones that's close to touch up to us, because when people talk about the DMV, as you know, is D.C., Maryland, and Virginia. Not all of Maryland is part of the DMV. Once you get up near Baltimore, that's not considered DMV. DMV is certain counties in Maryland where I'm located, D.C., and Virginia, DMV is Northern Virginia. So I have to say that I was proud of Virginia. And I'll tell you why. One of the main reasons, because the guy who was running for, because we hear about all of their politics, it be all over because it's part of the DMV. And the black guy who was running for Attorney General of Virginia, we thought that he probably had lost that. He was doing really, really well, and he was leading the pack because Virginia and them southern counties and stuff up there, they're tired of Virginia. I mean, they're tired of Trump and all of that. And their governor was Republican. But we thought Jay Jones was going to lose it. That's why so much of the media, the national media, is talking about Jay Jones. Because all the way to the vice principal and all of them, they were tearing up Jay Jones because he had a sex scandal. I remember I was in the doctor's office when it was announced, and he was talking about doing certain Republicans deserve a pew-pew to the brain, and talking about their kids, and
So
and
that guy
somebody
won?
yeah, he won.
What was his
And a
name?
little
What
comfortable
was
ball.
his name? John
Jay Jones.
J. Jones.
Just type in Virginia J. Just put the letter J, Jones. And when the election, because I stayed up to watch all the returns, and when the election was like, because we just figured, because all that stuff Jay Jones was saying in them text messages, and he running for district attorney, he had a comfortable lead, and it was looking like, oh, Jay Jones gonna pull this off from the incumbent. He gonna steal it from the MAGA. He gonna steal it. But when that text scandal came out, people was kind of scared, and then everybody was like, all of the alternative media was like, we disavow what Jay Jones was saying. But then white folks and then MAGA folks came out and they voted for Jay Jones, and he won, I think, about 7%.
No,
He won that
I'm
time.
gonna have to correct you because I'm looking at these exit polls. These white folks voted for white folk stuff, and these blue people. You can look at the exit polls. It was Democrats who got this man in here. The Republicans still voted for
No,
Republicans.
Archie. No, but they still had to vote for him to win, though, Tyrone. Nobody's saying all. It's not saying all of them voted for him, but enough of them did. That's how he was able to win. If you knew about the scandal.
Or they stayed home.
Enough. Well, that was another thing. Okay, Tyrone, can we have a little bit of feel good here? You just try to burst the bubble.
I will not give MAGA
No.
no credit. I am not
No, wait a
giving
minute.
MAGA no credit.
No,
for nothing.
but yes, and nobody started saying that the MAGA did not vote for Jay Jones. But they had announced early election day on the news that it seemed like, but that's still a support for all the Dems who won. Because they said on the news earlier that day that at the polls in some of them red counties, that the voting seemed like it almost collapsed because people just a lot of them didn't show up to vote. They just didn't. And if you don't show up to vote, it's because you don't give a damn. You don't care if the Democrats win. That's support. You just can't bring yourself to vote for it, but you allowed it to happen. It's the same thing, Tyrone.
Hmm.
It's the same thing. They knew that they didn't come out. They said that it seems like the voting, everybody knew it was a foregone conclusion if you follow Virginia's politics and the election, in which we have to hear about every time they have an election, because it seems like they just have the most rabble rousing and foolishness going on whenever Virginia, because their governor can only serve one term. They can't do consecutive terms. They can only serve one, and then they have to have a full-fledged, and then they can come back they can come back and run again, but they can't run and serve consecutive. And to me, that is the stupidest thing. The Commonwealth of Virginia, they need to get rid of that, because if you have a good governor and he's doing a great job, allow him to run and but he can serve consecutive. You can really get more done with 2 terms, but that's not how Virginia is. They can serve a term. They have to step back. Then both the Republicans and the Democrats run again, and then whoever win that. And the governor who you may have liked that was serving, then after the next term, he can come back and run again.
Hmm.
That is the stupidest thing that Virginia has. But
Well,
that's just, and they
I
don't.
think, you can only serve 2 terms and then that's it, right?
You still can only serve 2 terms, but you can't serve it consecutive.
Oh, okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Well, you
No
know,
matter how
that
good
system might be better, because I mean, what you get is people.
No,
You get people that get up in
no.
there and they want to stay there.
If it's somebody bad, then that's great.
Mhm.
But Tyrone, if you have a good governor
Oh
who's
yeah,
making great changes,
yeah, they got to go.
and sometimes it takes time for stuff to play its way out. And with the second term, you can really get it going and make changes in the state. A lot of things it might not show itself in just the first term, and they didn't get a chance to really complete. Sometimes you need long. You could come back after 4 years and pick it up, but somebody might come in and undo
Yeah,
some
I
of the
get what you're
good
saying.
things that you see what I'm saying.
Yeah,
And
I
that's
get
just
what you're saying.
stupid to me. That's stupid. You ain't give the person, if somebody bad, yeah, that's a good thing. But if somebody's doing a competent job and they trying to enforce different things, more progressive things or whatever, they ain't gonna get a chance to get all that stuff done. 4 years go by quickly. You know that.
Well, she better hit
So
the
that's
ground
how
running.
Virginia is. Huh?
She better hit the ground running then. 'Cause she ain't got that
Yeah,
much
and
time
they
to
be
do it.
moving fast. But the problem with Virginia, you have the northern part and the southern part, and then the people in the southern part, they be working against all the different things you're trying to do, the redistricting and different things like that. You got all that going on in that stupid state. So, but I was proud. So yes, not all the MAGAs. No, the MAGAs ain't gonna cut out and just vote for Jay Jones. But when you say screw it and stay home, what does that tell you?
Well, yeah, I mean that's a vote
They don't.
yeah, they gave up their vote.
They gotta get up and let them do whatever they're gonna do. But the fact that them hard red counties out there split to blue. Not saying all of the MAGAs voted, but forget MAGA. Let's take MAGA out of the equation. Not saying the MAGAs, the Republicans.
Looking at these
All of the
exit polls,
Republicans.
black people showed up heavy in all of these elections.
Black people can show up as heavy as they want to in Virginia. White folks outnumber them.
Yeah. But I mean, in Virginia, it shows you right here that the red people, they showed up, but not enough of them showed up, and the black people,
Not enough.
yeah.
And that's a giveaway. That's what you just will let
And
them
it
have.
shows you
Because
that 94% voted for the governor. 47% of the white people voted for the governor. I think that's kind of high. And then 52.
that is high.
So maybe some
And a lot of
some white folks did. Yeah.
They did vote for it, and a lot of them just said, screw it. Let them have it. You see the margin that woman won by,
Oh yeah,
and
she
they said
won.
once they finished time,
Yeah, she was running against that
they
crazy
said once
that crazy lady.
that crazy, the crazy woman. And when you look at the margin, and they said once they finished counting everything, if the lead that if the amount that you want, because they packed it up early in Virginia, they packed it up early when they was able to call that. And they said if the margin holds, once they finish counting up all the dot mailings and the this and the that she would have won that election by the highest margin since I think they said something back in the 80s. That speaks. I know you don't like to give white folks and Maccas and them credit, but that speaks right there. That margin, if it holds so far, it's the highest. And if it holds after they finish counting, they ain't never seen an election like that since the 80s.
Well, they're
That
ready to get
speaks
rid of
volumes.
they're ready to get rid of the Republicans, the MAGA, because
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
that Virginia governor, he was doing all kinds of stuff, and
So
you can
they just let it go. Them southern districts they voted in, them southern counties they voted in them dams and incumbents and stuff lost, and all the counties turned blue. You see what that used to look like? In Virginia, people used to say Virginia's blue. No, Virginia always categorized them as magenta.
well, purple, yeah.
So I always just looked at Virginia as magenta because they could kind of go both. Well, they vote. I think that Harris won Virginia, but they like the northern ones like we blue. Nah, y'all magenta. You're magenta. You're not really blue. But you got to really get into Virginia politics and type in how many Virginia counties turned blue, flipped to blue. And let's don't discount what went on in Georgia.
Now, what did they
The
have in
blue
Georgia?
flipping. They had, let me see, the Georgia, let me pull it up. What went on in Georgia? They had elections too. And they flipped some stuff blue in Georgia. And people could say whatever they want just because Georgia they won the election just because what's call carried Georgia. Georgia is still a red state. It's still a red state. They just was blue for that election. Georgia election. If I want to get it right, election results. Okay, here we go. I'll read their own newspaper. Democrats flipped Tuesday because they didn't have a full election. But what was up for election? Democrats split 2 seats on the Georgia Public Service Commission. Democrats Peter Hubbard, Alicia Johnson delivered an upset in Georgia of a year special election on Tuesday. They sent the incumbents home. And some other things that was voted on in Georgia. So you can't look at that light of not enough has woken up, but a lot have.
Well,
And
I hope they find a way to capitalize off of this and keep people interested for the midterm, because we got to get rid of these damn racists now. They got to go. And I'm happy for New York and Zoran Mamdani. I don't know much about him, but I mean, it's better than Cuomo and the guy that was up there, that black guy. So
you mean the black the ex-mayor?
Yeah,
I mean,
Eric,
they soon
Eric
to
Adams.
be ex-mayor. Well, he
Adams.
dropped out. He had dropped out, and the white dude, I can't think of what the one who got the Republican nomination.
That
And they
silver,
was saying
that
the whole
silver
time,
guy from the Guardian Angels.
and they was trying to get him to drop out, but he was like, I'm not dropping out nothing. And even if, from what they said, even if he had dropped out, that the lead that Mamdani had, he was still going to beat Cuomo anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And then Prop was it in California?
Prop 50.
Yep, that was a good thing. Then you had a lot of mayoral elections across the country in different places. J.D. Vance's brother was running for the mayor of Cincinnati,
Yeah, he
somewhere near
lost.
Cincinnati. Yeah, yeah,
That's
he
crazy.
didn't just lose.
The vice president's brother lost the damn race. That's nuts.
He didn't just lose. He got mollywopped.
Who is this?
And some of these other mayors.
Who's this unknown caller?
Yeah, hey Tyrone.
What's
Hey
that?
Alicia, what's going on, guys? Yeah,
Hey,
Tuesday was really interesting because of how this guy won. Memdami won. He put together a really, really broad coalition with the main thrusters coalition, and he had an amazing ground team. Amazing. I had said last night he's the only candidate that came and knocked on my door, and I'm in the hood. And so, he sent his ground team out to the hood, to canvas and to do the legwork, to make it possible. And so his team though was made up of mostly young people, young energized voters. And this is going to be key to the midterms. These young energized
yeah,
voters, you know, they're
yep,
looking at the older crowd and saying, "Hey, we don't like how you guys are doing business." Now, Como is part of that old guard, and he's I can't say he's disgraced. He actually wasn't a bad governor, but he aligned himself with Trump, and like I say, he got an endorsement from Stephen Miller, which was hilarious. And
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 Elon
it was
Musk.
clear
Elon
that
Musk.
yeah, he's on Netanyahu's defense team.
Wow.
So clearly,
Mhm,
he sold out for the Jewish money, and that turned a
mhm.
lot of people off. It's like,
Yeah,
wait a
man,
minute,
them
hold on, you
Jews is
want to be
full of
mayor of the
shit.
city?
Fuck them Jews. They full
Yeah,
of shit.
yeah. No, don't say it, Tyrone. Don't say that. And the
Well,
reason I say don't say
okay,
that
okay, okay,
is
okay.
because
Listen to what I'm saying.
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
talking about
yeah.
the Zionists.
Okay,
I ain't talking about all
right.
Jews. I'm talking about Netanyahu supporters. When I'm talking bad about Jews, I'm talking about Netanyahu people. I can't stand them people.
The
Okay, all
government,
right. Because
his,
this is
his
Yeah,
government, the
yeah,
government.
yeah.
yeah. There's a lot of younger Jewish organizations that ain't with that. They don't have the money that
Mhm,
AIPAC does, and they don't have the exposure that AIPAC does. But here on the local level, they have a huge presence. And so, like what's the I can't think of the guy's name from Colombia, the Palace that was advocating for Palestine, and they deported him. Well, what a lot of people don't know is he also had the support of a lot of younger Jewish groups. And so, there's a thing going on within their community where they have to reconcile, who they are going to back and why. That's their fight. That had nothing to do with us. But beyond all that, at the end of the day, populism is going to win out. We're in a day and a
mhm,
time where every dollar that you spend counts, every dollar. And so people
mhm,
can't afford to waste. People can't afford to lose what little that they have. And so anybody that's
mhm.
going to come across with a message of affordability is going to get listened to. Now, Sarge,
Yep.
got on the line last night screaming about this guy is a communist because, of course, Sarge is the resident expert on communism, having grown up under Lenin and Trotsky, because, I think I saw a picture of Sarge, during the Bolshevik revolution, on the white side, fighting against these dudes. But, hey, Sarge has a storied past. And so I'm sure he can, regale his stories of fighting the Bolsheviks back in 1914. I'll leave that up to him. But the bottom line is, there's nothing communist about this dude. He's a populist. He wants
Nope.
to make the city
Mhm,
affordable. He's focused on the city. I can get behind that. You know, and he's a regular guy. He takes the train and the subway like all of us. He eats at the bodega in the morning like all of us. So there's no separation. Cuomo hadn't taken the subway or a bus in years. You ain't never gonna see Cuomo on the subway or bus. You ain't never gonna see Cuomo, walking from the tip of Manhattan to the bottom of Manhattan. Just him and a couple of
Well,
his,
I
his
mean
people
that puts you in the
meeting people on the
neighborhood,
way.
man. But
Yeah.
Domini probably need to be careful now. He probably needs some security now.
Oh, now, yeah, definitely. Yeah, now, definitely.
Hmm.
But again, populism is going to win out, and he's a populist in the vein of Huey P. Long more than anything else. There's nothing communist about it.
yep.
And so Sarge is going on about how he's going to have homeless people riding the buses, and we had to kind of let Sarge know that in New York, homeless people don't ride buses; they ride subways.
Man, fuck
You know,
Sarge. Sarge
so
live in
you know,
Georgia. He don't know a damn thing about what's
yeah,
going on
I
in New
know,
York.
yeah, and that's what I said too. You know, this is local politics. You know, stay out of it. You got no dog in this fight. Stay out of it. I don't have a dog in whatever county his county decides to fly Dixie flags. No, I got no dog in that fight, and I have no comment about it. That's where he lives. Well, this is where I live, and I'm going to vote for the guy that's going to make my property taxes affordable. That's going to make my life a little easier. You know, if he doesn't accomplish that, it isn't because he didn't try. But at the end of the day, you know, if you're willing to put forth an effort, you know, as a politician, then I'm going to listen to you. You know, Curtis Lewa is a great guy too. Don't get me wrong. Curtis Lewa is a good guy, but he's a street level guy. He functions better at the street level, and he would not make a good mayor. And a lot of people, as you see from the polls, felt the same way. But you know, it doesn't mean they don't like him. It just means that he needs to fill a different sort of role. And so, you know, Cuomo, nah, he's the old guard. He's got to go. And retire gracefully, Cuomo, and go off into the sunset. Keep your legacy clean. But right now, he's attached to too much crap, and it's going to haunt him. You know, you guys haven't seen half the. Oh my, they got commercials showing Mandami with 9/11. They're actually attaching him to 9/11, saying, you know, his people, you know, caused 9/11, so they're going to cause it again. I'm like, the dude is African, not Saudi Arabian.
But that's racist because they're going by how he looked and they're trying to associate him with Muslim extremists. It's just racist. This country is racist as fuck, man.
Yeah, some of the stuff is hilarious. Like there's some memes of the subway where they changed the announcer to an Arab announcer, and they're doing Arab prayers in the subway stations. Some of it's actually pretty funny. But
that shit didn't bother Mandami because when I was watching him getting ready for his damn speech, he was playing that Indian song, that little dingy 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 dingy.
Right.
Dingy. I was like, Jesus Christ.
Well, that's common here, though. You gotta understand, that's common here. You know, it's not common in other places, but here you hear it all over the place. You know,
they didn't give a shit.
I mean, shoot. Yeah, half my neighborhood is Indian. They celebrate Indian holidays. They just celebrated Diwali.
Well, yeah, this is America, man. You're supposed to be able to embrace who the hell you are. That's just this country. This country ain't no white Christian nation only. Shit.
Right. But that's what they would sell you to believe in, and so that idea is changing. We're going to have a slaughter in the midterms. You know, I hope so. You know, Sarge, for all his bluster, you know, he has to sleep with the fact that they're going to get slaughtered. You know, none of his economic policies are working. The Supreme Court heard the tariff argument. Did you hear the arguments to the Supreme Court about tariffs today?
I listened to a little bit of it.
I did.
The government made a fool of itself. They couldn't really justify the concept of a president imposing tariffs. And the Supreme Court kind of, you know, hinted around like, hey, you guys are really freaking stupid, you know? And then my personal hero, the dude that threw the sandwich at the ice guy, he got acquitted today.
Yeah,
you know,
acquitted. Yep.
Yeah.
Because Shapiro overcharged that guy, man. you can't charge that dude with no felony for slinging a damn sub sandwich. That's bullshit.
Yeah. So I mean, the arguments these guys are making in court, and they're losing court battles or being embarrassed in court battles all around the country. So you can only support a house of cards like Trump has put forth for so long before the dominoes start falling, and they're falling now. So whoever the sandwich guy is, peace out. You got my support, brother. I say run for the mayor of D.C. Hold a Subway sandwich. He'll get elected. But anyway, I'll just sit to the side.
He would.
Yeah.
Now, Joe, I want to ask you a question. My understanding from what I was following going on in New York is that Mandami has a nice, sizable Jewish coalition that was backing him. That is true, correct?
Yes, that is true. And so the comptroller of the city, who is And this is where, here is kind of ground zero for a lot of this stuff. When you get outside of New York, Jews are seen as a monolith as they see us. But actually, there's a lot of factions within the Jewish community, because you have the Hasidim and you have the unorthodox and the Orthodox. There's a whole bunch of different groups, and they all have similar interests, but not 100%. And so some of them are Zionists, some of them are not, blah, 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 blah. But, if you attack that community,
those type of Jews are all right.
Yeah.
But see, the Anti-Defamation League, there was a video clip going around with the Anti-Defamation League on Morning Joe, and that guy is a Jew, and he was saying that now that Mondami has got elected, that he's going to have a special way that Jewish people in New York can report abuse and all this kind of shit, and that shit is racist. So I can't deal with the Anti-Defamation League. Those people are fucking extremist Jewish people, man.
Oh, they've already posted, ads saying we're going to be under Sharia law. The whole nine. They're putting all the scared. Oh, the classic one is there's all these rich New Yorkers that are going to leave, and all these businesses that are going to leave. Look, at the end of the day, folks, I hate to tell you, I hate to break it to you, and I hate to break it to you, Sarge. Ain't nobody leaving New York, man. This is the center of everything. I said that.
I said that. These people ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, they ain't going nowhere. And if they were to go somewhere and give up those apartments that they got, there'd be more than enough people that'd gladly take those apartments.
Yeah, that's what I was hearing.
Folks been sitting on for years.
People were saying, "Go ahead and leave. We want y'all to leave. Get the fuck out."
Yeah.
They ain't going nowhere. New Yorkers, they ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, the culture here, the access to things here, Broadway, the museums, the arts, all of this shit. You ain't gonna find this shit in Texas. I've been to Texas. Texas is a great state. Don't get me wrong. There's no knock to Texas, but it ain't New York. And so the collection of things here that attract people here, are never going anywhere. And those people are never going to leave that stuff. We get more tourism. Look, as much as Sarge likes to bluster, ain't nobody going to Idaho, brother. Ain't nobody going to Wyoming, unless they do a little skiing. Ain't nobody going to North Dakota and none of that stuff like that.
Nope.
The tourist money comes to New York, D.C., Atlanta, the blue cities. They attract people because they are diverse and they are happening. All right? And that's never going to change.
There you go.
And you can say what you want about these blue cities. Oh, the crime, yeah, it's there. But at the end of the day, all the other stuff that makes those cities great and that make people want to go there are there too. And so, ain't nobody leaving, bro. They'll bluster and fluster and all that, blah, blah, they'll maybe get a summer home in Florida or something like that. But they are not changing their residence from New York City. No, they're going to eat the tax. They're going to bitch and moan about it, but they will remain here because the things that they enjoy as a part of their life and lifestyle is here. It ain't in Texas. It ain't in North Carolina.
That people leaving New York. I heard Sean Hannity years ago start that bullshit about, if certain things happen in New York, he's moving out or they're going to move out and all this kind of stuff. And people just pick that up as a talking point. But you're right. There ain't nobody leaving New York. They're just using that as...
They ain't going nowhere.
Yeah.
They're not going anywhere. New York got everything. They got everything that them people, that's why they don't go nowhere. That's why a lot of people don't even have a car. A lot of people don't even have a car because they ain't going nowhere. And guess what? So I'm going to rep my area, the DMV, and you can get to DC and this and that, in 3.5 hours. Same people ain't going nowhere. Then you got Philly right over there. They're not going nowhere.
Yeah, Sarge says the people who actually pay taxes are the ones who clear out of New York City. No, they're not. And so you can believe that if you want to. No, they're not.
Sorry, you keep shooting your bullhogs down there in Georgia. You do not know what the hell going on in New York. What the fuck?
Yeah. Nope. Yeah. The hedge funds will still be here. The stock market will still be here. And all the businesses surrounding that will still be here. The top restaurants will still be here. The venues, all of that stuff. Because, again, at 8.5 million people, this is the biggest market in the country. There you go. And so folks will always want to come to this market to make money. It's always going to be the place to go if you want to make $1. Sarge, I don't care how you slice it, bro. You know, and so you can get as mad as you want to. You can sit in your easy chair with your MAGA hat on, screaming at the screen. But at the end of the day, life goes on here, bro. And so the world revolves around you.
They're ridiculous. They seem like
Yeah.
every election, the winner has got to be a Republican. And if the winner ain't a Republican, then they're either screaming out, you cheated, they're mad, there's something wrong with the election, they're going to leave the damn city. This is fucking democracy. You win on each side. So the Democrats won last night. Deal with it. Don't make no damn sense.
Yeah. Sarge says he knows a hell of a lot more about it than my dumbass. Really. Sitting in a rural Georgia, you know a lot more about New York than my dumbass. Okay, Sarge. All right. I got you. I own property here, bro. And so I see a bill every 3 months about property taxes. And when a person comes in and says, hey, we want to lower your property taxes because if there is no middle class, there will be no upper class. That's it. That's the bottom line. You know, the people that support the higher tiers have to be able to afford to live, or else there will be no higher tiers. You know, if you build only luxury apartments, then who will work in them? You know, and so this is the crazy part. You know, even if you listen to the interview that Jamie Dimon from Chase Bank did yesterday, I think, or day before from CNN, he kind of expresses the same thing. If you make the city so unaffordable for the folks who actually do the work of the city, then your city will collapse. It'll collapse. And so, you know, you have to keep it affordable for working people in order to support the life that New York breeds. And this new mayor is talking about that. He rides the subway like us. He rides the buses like us. He knows which trains are messed up. He knows which buses are messed up.
No,
he rides them too.
I think New York did a good thing. I think they did really good. And
I
not
do
only
too.
New York, not only New York,
I do too.
the entire outcome of the elections. So I think everybody did great.
I agree.
Who's this unknown caller?
This is Miss Lady. How you doing?
What's happening, Miss Lady?
Hey, Miss Lady.
Hi. What do you think that crazy Winsome Sears? She's not
she was
so
nuts.
winsome.
She's nuts.
Do you know she was brought here from Jamaica when she was a young child. She's an immigrant from Kingston. And she was in the military for 3 years only. Her policy, you know, she reminds me of Vivek and the other Indian guy who aligned themselves with white privileged people who were yes, and it didn't work out for Vivek and the other Indian guy, and it didn't work out for her. She you know, her opinions on policy issues were not good. Most of them were not really good. She did not believe in DEI. She said slaves didn't die in the field, so we could call ourselves victims now in 2025. She highlighted Virginia as the former capital of the Confederacy, and more or less that you can succeed, because even Virginia was a Confederate state, and people are succeeding. Look at me. And then she supported Doge. Mm-hmm. She also argued against critical race theory being taught. You know, she said it was racist. She opposed LGBTQ rights. She supported gun control. Now, you know, she's been married and she has 3 children. One died with 2 of her grandchildren in a car accident in 2012.
That's terrible.
She's written, she's a Christian. and she wrote a Christian self-help book entitled "Stop Being a Christian Wimp." She opened a plumbing, electrical, and home appliance business in Virginia after the 2004 election loss. So she ran for some office, called Shenandoah Appliance, Plumbing, and Electric. They said she was arguing online with people who left negative customer reviews on Yelp and Google. And then she got a PPP loan, which was forgiven of $102,000
Wow.
during the COVID pandemic, but she closed the company, and she said she had staffing challenges. So I don't know what Miss Winsom's going to do at this point, but
you know
she
what, Miss Lady?
is. Mm-hmm.
This is a classic example of how white Republican power structure views black people. They assume that just because it's a black face and we put it up there, that you're going to support her. You know, she's Herschel Walker. You know, she's any number of candidates that have been backed, you know, by white folks on the belief that black people are a monolith and they're going to vote, you know, for their color. And so, you know, it blew up in their face. Will they learn from this? Hell no. They're going to do it again and again and again. Man,
Well, I don't know how she
the
expected
chicken
black
Utah?
folks to vote for her when Donald Trump didn't even give his endorsement.
Well,
Yeah.
you know,
What was
because you know why? I think because at one point she was against him, and she said she wasn't going to vote for him, but she changed her mind.
Oh, so at one point she had a little bit of
so
sense,
did
huh?
JD. JD Vance. He was against him, but now he's the VP. But you know, she's a black and she's a woman. Okay, so she messed up when she went against him at some point in the past.
Shout out to Byron Donald. Shout out to Tim Scott.
Yeah, and Nikki
Is he still
Haley
married?
just disappeared off the face of the earth. Ain't heard from her.
I ain't heard from her. Well, what's Tim Scott doing?
I don't
He's
know.
still married
He's
to his beard?
Yeah,
I see-
Tyrone. What's he doing?
I seen somewhere on Facebook that somebody confronted him in the streets down there, calling them out, calling them a sellout and stuff.
That sounds about right. But y'all know.
I wonder how much
the-
money he had to pay that white woman to marry him.
Remember
Remember?
something? Yeah, his beard. But
Yeah,
let him have his beard. See however long did they allow that to last? Because he went all in. He got him a wife. Lindsey Graham ain't do that much.
Yeah, that's what I was getting ready to say. I believe him and Lindsey Graham secretly gay. There ain't nothing wrong with being gay, but I believe they
Everybody know Lindsey. Everybody know Lindsey is because he done been caught up in grinding and all kind of stuff. That's a fuck off conclusion. Tyrone talking about, I believe that he probably, no, that's a foregone conclusion. All the grinder leaks and stuff and people, the more people, yeah, that's foregone conclusion. But there's a Spears woman, let me just add this. She was the lieutenant governor, Virginia. And Tyrone, that's what I was saying. Virginia has crazy politics. And it was like, who voted? She was the lieutenant governor. And so how did you get to be lieutenant governor with all this craziness that was going on? That's what I tell you. Virginia has crazy politics. Whenever it's their election time, they have their major elections for governor and all that stuff. It gets crazy in Virginia. And you see these people come out of the woodwork, because I don't live in Virginia, but it's part of the DMV. And like, well, how did that happen? You start questioning. And don't start with the Virginia, they school board elections. So they have out and out fights and stuff going on. Virginia is a hot mess when it comes to elections. That's why I'm happy that it is over. And that's what I was telling you, when you look at the margins and that Jay Jones won, like it or not, they said that the voting thing, it just collapsed. Like the people, they didn't show up at a lot of the polls and stuff in them red counties. They said it's kind of like it collapsed. And we were sitting there watching the returns, and they dragged that thing out to like 8 o'clock, and they went on ahead and said that Sean Baum is is the predicted winner. And we're like, why are y'all dragging this election out? We all know that woman had this in the bag when old girl showed up and was, I'm speaking. I am speaking.
You seen that video? That was so funny.
She was crazy.
And her head sticking up on her head. That election was over. And we sitting up here watching the returns because they had everything blocked out in the area with the returns and stuff going on. Why y'all dragging this, all these Ozempic commercials and stuff, dragging this thing out? That election was over before it started. I was just, because I knew all the other people was going to win. I was just concerned about, I knew that she was going to lose big time. We were concerned about Jay Jones and all them things he said in them text messages when that scandal broke.
I seen that
and
text
the people
message.
said,
He didn't say anything no worse than what Donald Trump says. So, but it's bad. It's bad, but it ain't no worse than what Donald Trump, right?
No, nobody said he.
But
no,
Elisa,
but the thing is,
Elisa, but you know what? Wikipedia says in 21, she was elected lieutenant governor, but she narrowly defeated the Democratic nominee. Narrowly defeated.
That's crazy. That's crazy that she was voted lieutenant governor. That was crazy. That's what I said. Virginia is crazy. But yeah, Tyrone, what Jay Jones did, you got a text, an email thing or whatever it was that was going on. Yeah, some of the stuff he was saying was kind of crazy. He's not crazy, but that's how people talk when you think nobody is listening. But he never denied that.
You can tell that he was joking and all that kind of stuff. But I see how they used it in
politics. Whatever the reason. He didn't mean that stuff literally.
Yeah.
But the people was like, I don't care if he meant it. I don't care how he meant it. They still voted for him.
Mm-hmm.
So that right there, that's why the major news things was taking it up. Yeah, Jay Jones won. And people just was laughing and this and that because we were like sitting there. The people gonna say, yeah, they voted for Jay Jones. When that thing came up and said he was the predicted winner, was like, oh, Jay Jones won. I mean, my phone started ringing. They was like, he won that thing, and that right there was a rebuke completely of Trump. Yeah. Now, if this was like 10 years ago, he wouldn't have won. If this was in 2014, Jay Jones wouldn't have won. But people just want them Republicans gone. They want them gone. And that's what it is. They want them gone.
Well, yeah, because the Virginia governor, he was all right at first, and then he started leaning more towards Trump. I didn't like him because he was Republican.
He turned MAGA.
Yeah, he started leaning more towards Trump and doing all that crazy stuff. So I'm glad they got a Democrat in there now, and I'm glad Virginia went the way it did. I wish the other states would do the same thing because MAGA got to go.
When if and I'm going to say when, because just like MAGA Mike Johnson said the other day, next year, that's why they're doing everything they can to prevent us from having a midterm. So like, because they know there's writings on the wall. He was like, they're going to start impeachment proceedings on Trump the first day the new Congress is sworn in. Because he will not be...
They should they should put 3 more damn Supreme Court justices up there because this Supreme Court cannot stay the way it is. There is no way in the world. There is no way.
It can't stay like this.
No.
And
no.
they know
they need to put 4 more. They need a majority because it's 6 against 3.
Oh, they need 4 more. They need 4 more.
6 against 6.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, you're right.
And more seats. And more seats they do. But they know that when the new Congress is sworn, Mike Johnson will no longer be what do you call it?
Speaker of the House.
Head of the Congress.
Speaker of the House.
Huh?
Speaker of the House.
Speaker of the House. Yes, thank you.
Speaker of the House.
He will no longer be Speaker of the House, and he was like the day that the new Congress is sworn in, He's like, they're going to start impeachment, and they're going to be able to do what they need to do to get the Senate. I don't care who's still MAGA up on that, and get the Senate to convict. And they know this. And all of the plans and things that they're trying to do, get 2 years of it. That's why they moving fast.
But
That's
they
why
not
they
following
moving
the
really
rules because this
fast.
dude still hasn't sworn in that representative from Arizona, and that is wrong. That he need to swear that woman in, but he won't swear that lady in.
But they know it's going to be a bloodbath when we have the midterms. They know this. And last night, if that was a sign right there to say, because people just, I'm sorry, if Jay Jones won, that's the sign. And the Jay Jones, I'm not even talking about Mondale because what he was talking is what people really want to hear. Jay Jones was too, but that scandal that went on, oh no, the fact that they voted for him anyway, they were like, I don't care what he said, because look at it this way. He had a scandal that went on, but he didn't just he said this a little while ago. But it's like, shoot, them people voted in a felon, and he just caught up in a tax scandal. Who cares? And they voted for him anyway. Voted for the man anyway. And that right there, it made me feel good. It made me feel good.
Well, yeah, hopefully
that's why I keep harping.
Hopefully this country will turn around, because I didn't have any hope. I barely got hope now, but I see us heading down the wrong direction. But maybe there's some light at the end of the tunnel. I don't know.
Yeah, there's some light at the end of the tunnel. And Prop 50 in California was a big deal, and a lot of incumbents that they had races across the country and other places like mayors and different things like that. And some of the states, they upheld Supreme Courts, they like state Supreme Courts to make sure that the Democrats have that. All of those went on. The people ain't playing. They ain't playing. We got to do something. We can't just sit here. We can't just sit here like this and do the woe is me. You can't. You got to get out. And MAGA, like they said, the turnout wasn't what they wanted. They said in some of the counties, like I said, it collapsed in Virginia. They was like, okay, it's going to be with it. Y'all go ahead and vote your Democrats in. That, if you didn't show up to vote, that was a vote for the Democrats.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I was saying. It was a vote for the Democrats. They voted for him. Yeah, they just let it collapse.
Let them be angry. But Donald Trump caused all this himself. I mean, it's a shame. They need to get out of there, because I can't believe they still withholding these SNAP benefits from these families for no fucking reason. Mm-hmm. There is no reason. It ain't got nothing to do with none of the legislation. It ain't got nothing to do with the economy. The SNAP benefit holders usually get their benefits during a shutdown. He's just trying to starve people for the hell of it. And it's fascist, because that's what fascism do, is they starve poor people, and then poor people become so damn needy that they'll just bend to the wheels of what the people in charge are. But that's not going to work like this in America. But that's what they're doing. They're fascists. That's what they are.
Well, Tyrone, I put this in the chat room earlier, to focus on the people receiving SNAP benefits is to buy into the bullshit. The biggest recipient of SNAP benefits is Walmart. Walmart. Well, that rolls up to Walmart, right? Their business model is built on poor people. This is why Walmart is in such rural areas. Without them, there would be no Walmart. And so what you're going to see is these businesses who have the money from SNAP built into their business model. And I'm talking to you, Dollar General. I'm talking to you, Dollar Tree. I'm talking to you, Family Dollar. They're going to start putting pressures on the government to get this thing resolved, because it's hurting their bottom line. Yeah. And so you're going to start to see that,
Yeah, I seen idiots today making videos of people going to the stores at Walmart and stuff. Look how empty the aisles are, blah, blah, blah. And they was making fun of it. I was like, what the fuck is wrong with these people? These people are really happy that people are not eating. This is some sick shit that we going through.
Yeah, shit. It's sick. You okay with the top 1% and all them people getting all the rich and stuff, getting all these tax breaks, but you begrudging people food. And
Yep.
they said the amount of people like they do, you have fraud in everything. You got fraud in church, you got fraud in everything. There's probably some fraud going on across the street from me. You got fraud going on everywhere. But the amount of fraud that is actually in SNAP is minuscule.
Well, yeah, and that's what I was saying
And the
earlier. Is
bulk of
there's going to be
it's
some people that
minuscule.
there going to be some people that misuse it. There going to be some people that sell their stamps for cash and all that kind of stuff. But they highlight those people and not look at the benefits the program have overall. Like I said, if you own
hmm
SNAP, most likely you have to have a job. This got a work
You had
requirement. So I mean,
you had to be approved for it.
yeah.
You had to be approved for it.
And
And
then
like they were saying, because the majority.
like
Go ahead.
Joe is saying is once these stores don't receive this revenue, then
Yeah.
you're talking about truckers, you're talking about meat producers, you're talking about a whole bunch of people
hmm
that are not shipping their product
Whole
because
bunch
the
of people.
government decided to pick this fight.
Yep.
Because remember,
And like you said, along with Walmart and all the big grocery store chains, they need
yeah,
that money. They want that money.
and remember that we're still in the middle of tariff wars too. So these guys are still
Yeah.
struggling with changing suppliers because of tariffs. Now you got this too. Trust me, there's going to be a reckoning coming. And so the pressure
Yeah.
on Trump and those guys is going to start to ratchet up significantly. And if the Supreme Court rules as folks are expecting them to rule regarding tariffs, the question becomes, how do they get a refund for the tariffs they paid already?
Listen,
Yeah.
I heard that thing is up there in front of the Supreme Court now, and
It
I
is.
don't have no confidence in this damn Supreme Court. I really don't, and I want them to rule the right way on this thing. But I really don't have no confidence that they will. I think they're going to try to reach and support Donald Trump's agenda in some type of way, even though it might be illegal or wrong. I think they're going to try to support him, but I hope they don't, because this need to be a wake up call to Donald Trump and his fucking terrorists.
We're going to see.
They need to take it. We have to see. They might try to do some type of ruling to some type of split the baby.
Yeah.
I don't know how that could be done. They might try to do something with split the baby to show you we still behind you, but they shouldn't. They're supposed to kill that.
But
Kill it
that's what they did with the
completely.
flag burning thing, with the
Mhm.
they kind of ruled in his favor with that thing, which was illegal, and they rule in his favor even though it's against the law in a lot of ways. So I hope they don't try to do the same thing here, and that's why if the Democrats win, they need to put more justices on that Supreme Court so this bullshit can stop. The people really need to protest the Supreme Court and impeach them motherfuckers, because they're not even living up to the Constitution, and that's the court.
Yep.
Those
And who
cards
was
get
that? Let
real
me see.
interesting real fast, And so, I'm saying sooner or later, when you start placing dominoes on the board, they start tumbling. And there's enough dominoes on the board now to make life really interesting. And so I got a
Yeah.
feeling that they're going to start tumbling. It's just a matter of time. You can only roll with this kind of stuff for so long before you got to pay the
Exactly.
bill on all the shit that you got to do. And so, the bill has to be paid. It has to. That's just history. So we'll see how this works out.
Well, they stupid.
Because
They keep supporting this guy and letting him amass more money, and the more money he got, the more legal battles he can have, and that's how he's winning. Is actually he's willing to throw money at the damn courts and these legal fights and get these damn TV networks to pay for him, the colleges to pay him, and all this kind of stuff, and because he's got endless amount of goddamn money, and these people are so stupid they're letting him amass more money. So I don't know. I don't know if he's buying. Well, I know he's buying people off, but I don't know. They need to do something about this Joker before he get too powerful to touch.
Just like that, nobody
I
touched.
don't think
Well,
he's.
No, nobody. The reason
I don't think
the reason I say that is because Elon Musk broke all kinds of damn laws by being up there in Doge, and nobody said a damn thing to Elon Musk. Nobody said anything to Elon Musk when he was invading people's privacy by collecting all that data. Elon Musk wasn't authorized. He didn't have no clearance, and that's because he got all this damn money. All that shit Elon Musk did for those when he was falsely promoted to this imaginary position in the government. That shit was illegal. Every bit of it was. And if there was any attorney or lawyer worth their weight, then they could sue Elon Musk for everything that he goddamn did. But because he got money, they just don't do it.
Yeah, but you know the thing as far as Trump, is Trump paying people off? Possibly. I think it's more intimidation, and a lot of people were afraid of him.
Oh yeah.
But a lot of the experts and these economists, they were saying that you have to wait because eventually the top percent, these executives, these corporations, and these hedge funds, and these different things like that, it's going to start messing with their money. And when it messes with their money, then not only going to see cracks, it's going to be bust. And that's where we are right now. They push
I don't believe that either.
push it too far.
I don't
You
believe that.
don't.
No, because think about it, when Donald Trump first came into office, and these
Okay.
companies was doing whatever they do, but when Donald Trump first started threatening Mexico and Canada with these terrorists, the bottom stuff dropped out of the damn stock market, and all of these companies lost all kind of damn money, and they still support him. So I don't know if it's going to take these companies losing money or not. I don't know what kind of hold Donald Trump has over on these people, but them losing money because it had happened before.
Yeah, but
whenever the stock market dropped,
the hold he has over on them is the tax break and getting rid of all of the what do you call it, oversight and things like that. That's
You're right.
hope.
The
They
SEC.
want
yeah,
they want a lot of oversight removed. But the thing is, they're fine with that. But with some of the things that he's doing, like with the SNAP and with the tariff, and they have to raise the prices, and they have to this or that, some of it is a little too much overreach on his part. That's all I'm saying.
Well, yeah, you're right, because the farmers, I see the farmers are confusing me. Even though they're getting screwed over big time, you can still hear them in support for Donald Trump, even though they're losing money. So I don't know what that means. I really don't know what that means, that those guys are still supporting Donald Trump. Not all of them. I've seen some change their mind, but not all of them. So I don't know what kind of hold Donald Trump got on these damn people. I don't know what the hell going on. All this is new to me.
That's the whole tax cuts and removal of oversight. And to keep people hooked on, keep the economy and keep things running on fossil fuels and not wind and solar and things like that. That's the whole, Tyrone.
Yeah, you probably right.
Tax
You probably
cuts
right. I can see
and getting rid of oversight. That's the whole. But at some point, you overstep, and if you break the thing down too far, then it's not going to matter whether or not there's oversight. It's not going to matter. You have to have people working and to buy and take part in whatever the products you got. That's how you keep the thing going. But yeah, they're happy for all of that.
Yeah,
They're
because
happy for that, but now
he's done did shit now. He can be impeached by the shit that he's did in office this term right here. I mean, him tearing down the damn White House, and supposedly, quote unquote, receiving money from civilian donors to build that damn building. That is completely against the law. He didn't get permission to tear that down.
That's pay to play.
Yeah.
Pay to play right in your face. That's what that is. Pay to play.
So they can impeach his ass right now. And then, I don't know. I was thinking the other day that they gave Donald Trump immunity, right? So if a Democrat president win and that president now got immunity, I was thinking that I guarantee you that there's going to be some lawyer or some institution sue that Democrat president all the way up to the Supreme Court to have their immunity removed. I think that's the game.
Oh, of course.
Because I can't
But
see
Joe
them
Biden
allowing-
Biden had the immunity. The immunity was given when Biden was president because they was gearing up for Trump. Joe Biden didn't use it like a fool.
So I can see that that's what they're going to do, because they're not going to allow a president going forward to have just blanket immunity. This is a Trump era thing, I think. Why, I don't know, but this.
They're gonna get rid of some of that. Joe Biden, people was like, well, when the Supreme Court gave that immunity, they were gearing up that Trump was gonna win this here thing, and Joe Biden didn't flex it, and people was like, well, he got the same immunity. Flex that stuff. You flex it.
Yeah, Joe Biden
He
should.
didn't flex it.
He should have just, like you said, flexed it one time right before he left left the office. I wouldn't have gave a shit. I wouldn't have gave a shit. You know, since the Supreme Court want to be dumb.
I don't think a lot of us wouldn't. Now he placed a lot of he confirmed a lot of judges before he left. A bunch of judges throughout the country. I guess he said they're gonna need these judges. That wasn't enough.
Yeah, he did.
They knew what Trump was was planning to do. Because if you and I and anyone on this phone knew, of course they knew. That's the part that I don't understand. That is the part that I don't understand. Because right now, it's just complete craziness and chaos going on. And again, we knew it was going to be bad, but we wasn't imagining all of this.
Yeah, this country is crazy.
I wasn't.
I mean, you literally
That's
had the
crazy.
president of the United States, his whole admin, show up at a white nationalist racist funeral or memorial. What the fuck?
Yeah.
The whole fucking administration.
But you
showed
know,
up at that
he's
racist
gonna have a percent that don't care. He can do whatever he wants to do. You know, don't matter how cruel it is, how racist it is. They gonna be pro Trump. It doesn't matter what he does. There's just a core group. You know how people going down with a sinking ship instead of just getting off, putting on your life jacket, you know, getting into the little boat that can roll you to shore. They just don't go down with it.
Miss Lady, what do you think about JD throwing his wife up under the bus? Did you see that?
Well, he ain't the first one. Remember, who was that other one? Trump called somebody's wife ugly. Remember?
That was Trump called Ted Cruz's wife ugly.
Yeah.
And Ted Cruz didn't say one word. So
and he got orange makeup around his lips. That just shows you how nothing of a man Ted Cruz is.
Mm-hmm. And this little JD, he wants to be president so bad. I'm sure he'd be fine if the president was impeached or he got sick and had to go.
But them white people ain't gonna take
right on in there.
No,
so
they're not gonna accept.
It takes.
They're not gonna accept JD long as he got an Indian wife. I'm telling you, that's why they're trying to.
Well, if something happens to Trump and he got to step down, he becomes the president.
They're trying they're trying to put Erica Kurt and JD together. You seen that?
I saw that, and he looked really uncomfortable with all that grabbing too. It looked weird, but
it did. It did.
It didn't. Yeah. But I don't think he wants to have the country against him. So just to make it easier for him in his quote presidency, he'll take the blonde woman. But I don't think he ain't into that woman.
You don't think so?
No, absolutely not.
JD is the kind of person that would probably divorce his wife just to get power. I see him as that.
Yeah, he'll do whatever to get up there And yeah, so that's shoot. Folks are, honey, they'll knock you in the head and throw you in the ocean, okay?
Yeah.
To get that power, that money, yes, they will. Happens every day.
Because that's what old girl is doing. I mean, her husband ain't quite cold. And
Erica
she just
Curry.
out there taking over.
And the way she was acting with Daddy Vance and smiling at I'm like, she wasn't into that man, okay?
And I'll say this. I don't like to talk about what women wear because women can wear whatever they want to do. But, I mean, you are a widow. Y'all supposed to be all church. That's the only reason I'm talking about it. It's because you're supposed to be church.
She looked like a straight hoe. That's what
And
she looked.
well, I wouldn't say that,
Because
but
she
you
had
got
on
on tight
leather
leather.
pants.
Yeah.
No, she don't look like no hoe. She don't look like a hoe.
She didn't
That
look
won't
like
no Christian.
that.
That won't no Christian attire. They want nothing Christian.
But that's what I'm
leather
saying.
pants.
I
got me some leather pants. I haven't worn them in a long time up in the closet.
Don't be putting on your leather pants.
I got some.
Leave your leather
I
pants.
got some too. I'm just saying that she didn't look like a hoe. She just didn't look like a woman whose husband was just blasted in front of the world. So that's all I'm saying. And and you Christian too. You supposed to be Christian and real church. That's all I'm saying. Real churchy and Christian. And I'm not churchy and I'm not none of that. But if my husband got blown away in front of, I would, even if I didn't like him, I would pretend a little better. That's just me. I would pretend.
Girl, she was
little
looking for
better.
that life insurance policy. She may have pulled it out ahead of time, okay?
So I don't know. The whole thing just looks weird.
Well, yeah, they immediately started trying to make money off of Charlie Kirk's death, and that just told us what kind
and
of
she
people
took
they
over the show. She took over the whole thing. I'm just saying for church. Well, maybe that's how church people get down. I don't go to church, but for church people, you play even if you don't give a damn. You play the role. You pretend better. You pretend a little bit better. And, you and then you could go ahead and take off all that old black and all that stuff and do your thing. But you churchy people supposed to pretend. For all of us who's not churchy, that's different. But for them, they supposed to pretend a little better.
Yeah, she
I don't know.
right
That's
away. She could have at least gave it a week or two, at least a week.
A month.
Yeah.
But why?
Give it a month.
Hey, they out in the open with their stuff, okay? Why waste a week? Hey.
No, because it's just vlogger.
Okay.
This vlogger who and he was talking about it, and I said, "Oh no!" They were showing the picture, and they pulled out Billy Paul, and it started up me and Mrs. Jones. I said, "Oh my God!" He done dug up Billy Paul. And they said, and for the younger people, which is more my crowd, and then all of a sudden they put on the video with Brandy. I know it's not enough because the mad boy is mad. And I said, oh my gosh.
They were playing there.
Oh my gosh. I said, these people just don't care. Look what America has turned into.
A clown show, okay?
Everything is a clown show, and people just don't care. And they don't care anymore. So why should we? I laugh at it and get a good...
Putin over there just cracking up, okay? Putin and that little North Korean man and that Korean president, they are rolling, okay? All of the Japanese... did you see?
Xi Jinping laughing too. He laughing at it too.
Oh, the French president, all of them, they laughing.
All of them laughing. They laughing at it. America is a hot mess, right? It's just a hot mess.
Yeah,
So it's like, well, I
embarrassing.
think we.
This is shameful. These people are embarrassing.
They not embarrassed. They party. They doing the Charleston at the Halloween party. Okay.
You seen that? They had that Gatsby theme party, the Great
It's
Gatsby.
Great
That's
Gatsby,
like,
yeah.
hey,
I couldn't believe
Let
that.
me tell you.
in the
The
big
government was
martini
shut down.
glass.
People
Did you
food
see
stamps.
that?
People won't get their food stamps, and they sitting up in there like these 1920 billionaires and stuff.
Yeah, and when
That was before the
and
big
the
crash, and they was partying up a storm
yeah,
of Duffy.
the Great Gatsby,
Uh-huh.
and women walk around with no clothes on, and they had some of them up in champagne glasses. So it's like they said, all of y'all can eat cake. We that's what that we all
It was
y'all
some
can eat
dancers,
cake.
okay?
And Judge
In
Janine
them
just need to go
champagne
sit down
glasses.
somewhere. Judge Janine was up in there trying to get her little Gatsby on. She just need to go sit down somewhere. That's a weird looking
And
woman.
have you seen? Did y'all see what happened today in the White House? This just really shows how they don't care. Y'all saw what happened in the White House today. That man collapsed.
Oh yeah, I seen that video.
Oh no, I didn't see that. Who collapsed?
I don't know who
Somebody
it
was
was.
there. No, it was what it was. They had these people, Dr. Oz and all them was there, and they had these people from pharmaceutical companies because they trying to get some kind of deal, for the weight loss medication like Ozempic and stuff, to be able to sell it a little bit cheaper or whatever. So they was with somebody from the pharmaceutical company. He fell out, and Trump did turn around and look. But while Dr. Oz and the other people was holding the man's feet up and trying to give him medical help, Trump had turned around. He was like, y'all hurry up with this back there. It looks bad.
Yeah, Trump
It
act
looks
like
bad.
Trump did act like he didn't give a crap about that man.
It was awful. It was a bad look. And people say, well, that's indicative of that administration. I mean, somebody fell out. He did turn around and look, but then he just turned right back around and started
He
facing
just
the
wanted to see
cameras or
what
whatever
all the
was going.
commotion was. He just
Yeah,
wanted to
because
see what was going on.
Dr. Oz yelled out and said, whatever the man's name is, are you okay? Because Dr. Oz is a doctor. He's like, are you okay? Are you there? And then when they all went running over when the collapsed, and then Trump turned around and looked, and child, he turned right back around, started facing the cameras while they were still working on the man. We was like, oh my God. But he doesn't care. He can't. He's like, y'all hurry up with that. The people that interrupt my speech, somebody collapsed it.
Now see, we should tell Sarge that could have been you, okay? Man, and ABC,
Collapsed.
right there, having a heart attack or whatever. Okay.
Or whatever going on with you. And he don't even care. He turned around and all that commotion going on back there. They got the man's feet up in the air, and Dr. Oz over there performing a medical emergency thing down up on the floor. Trump turned around, had his mouth in that old flute mouth that he had, and it was like, y'all hurry up with this. Hurry up, it just looks bad.
Well, I gotta look for that. It's a video.
Yeah, it's a video on Twitter.
It's a video.
Oh, not on Twitter. Yeah, I guess that's
Can
X.
you?
That's X. What's the name?
It's all over everywhere. It's all the major, even all of the network news. Can you see YouTube? Tyrone, put up the freeze frame photo so she can see with all that commotion. I'll send it to you. It's all over everywhere. Just put up the photo, and Trump turns the other way, and he's like, and they all back there trying to help the man. What's going on? You having a heart attack or something? Trump did look. Now, I will say that in the video, he turned around and he looked like, what's going on? But then he turned back around. And
that's that picture that everybody talking about with Donald Trump just standing there.
Yeah,
and if you look in the back,
Miss Lady.
If you look in the back there, you can see where they're working on the man back there. Trump just standing there looking.
If you look on YouTube, if you got YouTube up, look at it and look at the picture Tyrone got up. They got all that going on behind Trump. The man, legs up in the air, Dr. Oz and them performing medical procedures. And it's like, oh my God. And it's like, he just don't give a damn. It looks bad. It looks real bad. It looks real bad. It's all over everything. Even the major, the national news and everything showing it. It looks bad. Trump don't care nothing about what's going on. Y'all heard, get him together, get him out, call an ambulance and get a stretcher, get him from up out of here. It looks bad. It looks bad.
Well, hey, you know, it was he was a minor inconvenience as far as Trump was concerned.
Yes, he was an
That's
inconvenience.
exactly how he acted.
I'm speaking, and what's going on? Everybody ran over there, and
I
you see some Tyrone. You see
they about to fire that photographer. I don't know who that photographer is, but he finna
for
get
taking that picture.
Cause that looks terrible.
Because it looks terrible. And you see Tyrone, they got the man legs up in the air. I guess that's something going on to get rust or heart attack or something, whatever going on with him. And that's Dr. Oz bent over him trying to help the dude out. Yeah, I said, that looks bad. And Trump turned the other way. He don't care nothing about that.
Yeah, that is weird how it's just looking dead at the camera.
Because he don't care.
Dr. Oz and those two other men, yeah.
I guess he glad it won't him.
Yeah, maybe he was afraid to look too close because it's like, well, I don't want to be next. Because he was been saying how he don't think he's going to heaven.
I guarantee you, they about to be some funny memes. They got the dude feet in the air.
Saturday Night Live's gonna be hilarious.
Oh yeah. And what's those little South Park? And that was all over social media today when they said that somebody collapsed in the Oval Office, and I saw people was going, please, you know what they meant, please let it be. But then we found out it was some other dude. But Trump did turn around. He turned around and looked to see what was going on. Because Dr. Oz hollered out, are you all right? Are you all right? And the dude just went down.
Join ICE with bonuses
that's
up to
him. See how he see that? That was when he did turn and look. Because they said he didn't look. That's not true. He did turn to see what was going on. Okay. But he turned back around. He was like, y'all did that video.
Trump don't look good though, do he? He looks tired and he don't like he has no energy and nothing there.
So he did turn around and look. So people was wrong about that. He did turn around and look, but he don't see it, and he turned right back around. Whatever y'all heard of
the representatives of the companies.
See how he turned back around? He doesn't care nothing about that. And how the look he looked like, okay, whatever. Y'all hurry up. That looks bad. Looks bad. Because he was in the middle of speaking, and disturbance broke out, and it looked bad. Because I remember Obama was giving a speech or something somewhere, and some woman behind him was about to pass out, and he stopped the speaking and went back there and helped to catch the woman and to tell the people to come get.
He did. Yeah, I remember that.
He did.
I remember.
But Trump, he did look, but watch, when he turned back around, he didn't look like, he kind of looked like he rolled his eyes. He turned back around, was like, whatever, y'all did with it.
Yeah, that was crazy.
That looks awful.
And that happened today, huh?
Yeah, I think it
was. Yeah, it happened this morning.
Was it this morning?
Huh?
Was it this morning?
Yeah, it happened today. It happened this morning.
But this is a
maybe in the afternoon time. But
this is a representation of how they're treating this damn country. They don't give a shit about nothing.
They don't care. Because, and another one, the new governor-elect of Virginia, because when she was giving her acceptance speech and her speech, somebody had a medical emergency while she was giving it. Because all of a sudden, people thought that the sound had went out, and she was turning around talking to the people. They was trying to get it together and figure out to get somebody to because somebody had a medical emergency. You stop what you're doing and at least pretend you give a damn.
Yeah.
He did. That's how you do. He did turn around and look, so I give him that. But it didn't last long. It looked like he rolled his eyes and y'all deal with this. And he turned back around. He didn't care. He didn't care about that. And people, and the memes, everybody said they got the meme generators lit. They got it lit. He did not, he didn't care nothing about that.
Yeah, it's terrible.
This
They
is
need to get
just
these
too
people out of
much.
there. We still got 2 years and some change with these people, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I
No,
don't know. Trump
we have a
don't last
year.
that long.
No, if we have a midterm, we
I'm
have
talking about
a
to get
year.
rid of Trump. I'm talking about to get rid of Trump. Yeah.
Yeah. If we have a midterm, we have a year.
But
Because they're
he
going to
wants
start
to stop
impeachment.
all mail-in ballots. They're gonna pull out the heavy guns to try and,
Well, that's
swing
what
the
they're doing now.
election.
That's why they redistrict Texas, and that's why Gavin Newsom responded, because they're trying to cheat now. They're trying to cheat now.
Huh?
But they want, I think, 3 other red states they're gonna re-gerrymander them. So Newsom is saying all the blue states need to start gerrymandering too. I mean, it's like you can't stay fighting above, as if it's business as usual when they down in the mud, okay?
Yeah, the
You gotta
Democrats
get-
gonna have to get it just as dirty, because that's the only way. Because if they don't, the Republicans gonna continue to walk all over them, and that's why I say if they win in 2028, then they need to go ahead and put those justices on the court, and they need to go ahead and enact every damn thing that the people want, because this is bullshit. They need to lower prices on food. They need to fight to lower the housing costs. They need to do all of that shit. Get a hold of these banks.
And they should stop all this foreign corporations and wealthy people from buying up all the real estate here. Other countries have put a stop to it.
Yep.
They don't allow that. They put in restrictions. Like in Thailand, if you're an American, you can only own 49% of any property. A Thai person has to own 51%. Be it your spouse or whoever.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how so most people are not going to buy real estate in a country if you can't own it, outright.
And I know this
What
would
if-
be hard
you
for the
know-
Democrats to do, but they need to go ahead and get rid of that damn Jewish lobby. They need to put Israel in their place, because Israel is running our foreign policy and telling the president what to do. Israel has got too much power. They need to get rid of that bullshit. That what is that, AIPAC or whatever that is?
I agree.
They buy up politicians on both sides. That's too much power. That shouldn't even be happening. And
But a lot of
they're
wealthy
allowing
people,
net-
they do give to both sides. I remember years ago, he passed away, but a friend from school, her father had a sizable company, and he was like, he was a Republican, but he was a conscientious Republican back when they were good. He said, I donate to both sides. He might give a little bit more on the Republican side, but he still donated to the Democratic candidates too.
But AIPAC is writing policy. I mean, that's just not right. AIPAC.
Well, lobbyists write policy too.
But I mean, it's just like
people
a whole
didn't know
nother
that.
It's like a whole nother
I
country.
know it's like money is running everything,
Yeah.
and that you don't have a democracy when you have it that way.
Yes, I don't know. They Netanyahu and the Jews, they are allowed to commit genocide over there, and that's what they doing. They killing people. They're just killing a whole race of people off. And then
It's the Israelis. It's the Israelis in that part of the world, because there are, I remember years ago they started Jews for Jesus, There was young Jewish people.
But
They
see,
sure
and that
did.
doesn't even make any sense. I don't.
Jews for Jesus.
And you a Christian, so you know that don't make no sense, don't you?
Well, I don't know what their organization was about. I don't know, but there's a lot of Jewish people that are against what's going on in Gaza.
The Jewish don't look at Jesus as a god. I mean, it's in their doctrine. Jewish is just Jesus is a prophet to them. So I don't understand how the Christians is aligning with the Jewish people, because the Jewish people don't look at Jesus as a god. And ain't nothing wrong with that. And I ain't trying to get on no religious thing, but it's just wrong. If you're a Christian, if you're a true Christian, there's no way you should be getting along with the Jews like
But
these people do.
But they're not true Christians.
Yeah. And then they got this whole Judeo-Christian thing that they made up. I'm like, what the fuck is that? That makes no sense. All right, so Mama's Boy, I got your line open, and Miss Elisa, your line back open.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm reading
Mama's
Jews
Boy.
for Jesus is an international Christian missionary organization headquartered in San Francisco. It promotes the belief that Jesus is the Christ and Son of God. It was founded in 1970 by Moshe Rosen, blah, blah, blah. I don't know.
Well, see that first sentence you just read, instead of God. That a Christian should not accept that, because to Christians, Jesus is God. He's part of the Holy Trinity. You know, that's not debatable in Christianity. It shouldn't be.
Well, it says it promotes a belief that Jesus is the Christ and the Son of God.
The Son.
So-
They
so
said
I
the
don't
Son of
know.
God. Well,
Yeah.
that faction of Jews that you talking there, they don't get along with the other Jews, because I can tell
He
you.
was a Jewish convert to Christianity. He became Moshe Rosen and then became a Baptist minister of the Hebrew Christian movement. And
Yeah, that's some type of new stuff there, but that ain't the way.
it started in 1970.
Mm-hmm.
So let me see their beliefs. Yeah. Old Testament and New Testament are divinely inspired, without error, and are the final authority in all matters of faith and life. There is one sovereign God existing in three persons, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Mankind was created in the image of God, but due to sin, was separated from God. Jesus is the Messiah and died for the sin of mankind. The church is an elect people in accordance with the new covenant, comprising both Jews and Gentiles who acknowledge Jesus as the Messiah and Redeemer. Jesus will return personally in order to consummate the prophesied purposes concerning his kingdom.
Yeah, that's
The bodily resurrection. It does. So they're like Jews, but they say they're Christians. That's they just call themselves
that
Jews
sounds
for
like
Jews.
Christianity. What's up, Mama Boy?
What's up, Tyrone? What's up, man? What's up, family?
What's happening?
Listen, I only chimed in because I wanted to drop y'all the news that the fact that the Republicans gerrymandered this state is not a good thing for them, Tyrone. I know it seemed like it with all the news, but they kind of watered down the districts in such a way now where the Democrats can beat them. They kind of screwed themselves with gerrymander and everything
I thought
around.
whenever they gerrymander, they put they draw maps around a majority Republican white districts and just suck up some people of color in there. That's not the way it happened?
Well, from what I understand, what the Midas Touch was saying is they actually kind of made the districts to where a Democrat could win in districts where they used to have no shot.
Oh. Okay, I get what you're saying. Even though they drew the maps a certain way, if a Democrat get in that area and is competitive, it's possible for that Democrat to win. Probably based off of the demographics of that area.
Right. And the way that they drew it up, so they could actually lose power in the state Congress. So
well, yeah,
cross your fingers,
Mom. Show up then. They got to show up. You got to get them in.
They do. And let no Trump situation go unfucked up because you know how he unites everybody against him.
Against him. Yeah, you got that right. Against him. Oh, I wanted to add you, I was talking about AIPAC and how they give money to both sides. There's been, if y'all have been following, a lot of the Democrats, including, because I used to fuss about this last year before last, Hakeem Jeffries, and a lot of the Democrats, they are no longer accepting that money from AIPAC.
That's good. That's good. Because that's who got Bowman out of there, that guy from New York. And I think that lady was from either Mississippi or Alabama, that black lady, Cory Booker. Cory
Booker. Yeah.
Is that her name?
Yeah.
I think that was her name. But the AIPAC got them out of there. And those were two strong Democrats. They didn't give a shit about none of this stuff. So AIPAC got them out.
But the top ones, they spurn them away. They're not taking that money. And there's been a few Democratic politicians. They gave some of them gave the money back because they see how that's not a good look, and it's time to y'all need to wean yourself off of AIPAC, and that's what it's looking like. First, the Democrat Party. So we have to see with the Republicans. They don't try to push it and do too much of talking about them. Ted Cruz still, but a lot of them they're trying to distance now. They're trying to distance.
The Republicans going to take the money. They like AIPAC, but the Democrats need to not take that money and they need to run on that. They need to run that they rejected AIPAC's assistance because listen, the Jews in politics in America are an extremist organization. They are radical. You can call me anti-Semitic or whatever, but these Jews have too much power in America. Just too much.
Zionists, Tyrone.
The Zionist Jews, yeah, those are the ones that I'm talking about. I ain't talking about all Jews. I ain't talking about the Jon Stewarts or whoever, whoever the good Jews, the Bernie Sanders.
No, the Zionists.
I ain't talking about them.
And the Israeli government. That is the problem, not the Jews. Ain't nobody the Jews, no, not them. It's the Zionists and it's the Israeli government.
Yeah,
because they're committing genocide.
I don't mean to generalize.
They committing genocide. Because I heard, I was watching a Kevin Pierce Morgan show, and they had a bunch of people on there. Somebody who I don't fool with anymore. Jink from the Young Turks, and what's his name?
Stephen Miller's wife. Yeah, that's what that
wife. You saw that?
Yeah, and that's how she act just like all of them act. That's the way that she was acting the same way.
Zionist.
Zionist. That's the same way that dude on Morning Joe was acting from the ADL. Her and him was acting the same way. I don't know what the fuck it is that they think that they entitled for somebody not to critique them, but these are some extremist people. I don't know what the hell it is.
The Israeli government, and that's what they was trying to say. And when they called them, he said a bunch of grifters and liars. And then she was like, oh, so that's what you're trying to say? He said, no, we're not talking about Jews. We're talking about you. And that was so funny, that part. He said, you and your husband, Stephen Miller,
and
are some of the biggest liars.
She called him
and he said, we're talking about her.
I'm like, what the hell is wrong with
We're talking about you and your husband. We're not talking about Jewish people. We're talking about you and your husband are two of the biggest scripters and liars. And no, we're criticizing. You can't criticize another country's government, their regime. We're not talking about Jewish people. We're talking about the government of the Israel. What we're talking about that. And that's what we're talking about, not Jewish people.
But that's how they do it. They try to twist it and make everything anti-Semitic.
Anti-Semitic.
Whenever you critique Israel or the Zionists, they keep saying that you are anti-Semitic, and that's just bullshit.
And that's not true. And like he was saying that her and her husband, two of the biggest liars and grifters. Oh, that's anti-Semitic. No, it's not. You and your husband are liars. You and your husband are liars. Nobody started talking about Jewish people. And she was like, if you're gonna okay, you're making it about identity politics. No, it's not what this is. That's not what this is. You're doing that by bringing that up. We're talking about you. We're critiquing you. We're doing ad hominem attacks at you and your husband. We're not talking about Jewish people. We're talking about you.
Yeah, and at one point in time, I thought that the Anti-Defamation League was doing good work, but when I found out that they really right now they really concentrating on Jews and demonizing people and calling them anti-Semitic, fuck them people. They full of shit. They
concentrating on the Zionists and Israel. That's what they're concentrating on. Because when Elon Musk did that salute, and when they came out and they was like, no, that's not what that was. I was a little shocked.
I didn't even think about that. That's probably why.
Remember when they did?
That's probably why his ass ain't even in the White House no more.
When they asked them about it, and people were saying that it was a Hitler salute, and it was a this, and it's anti-Semitic, and it's this and that. The Anti-Defamation League said, no, it wasn't. That's not what he did.
Oh, they
you remember that?
For him?
Yes.
Oh, well, they full of shit then.
Yes, and a lot of people was shocked. I'll tell you exactly, Elon. I'll tell you exactly, because I remember when that went on, and I was like, ooh, they bent the knee, because that's all that was. Let me see, Elon. Salute. Obvious salute. Let me get the names right. And I was shocked that they. Let me find it. Yeah, ADL. Here it is. Actually, a lot of people did. They talked about this. ADL. Okay. They condemned the Musk-Nazi jokes after the salute controversy, and I was shocked. Anti-Defamation League condemned Elon Musk for making a serious. Wait a minute. The ADL had defended. Wait a minute. Come on. Okay, they want to charge. I'm not paying. They're not paying for this article. Wait a minute. Okay, the ADL, let me tell, I'll read it from here, Al Jazeera, because they don't charge you. ADL faces backlash for defending Elon Musk's raised arm gesture. After previously shooting with Musk, the pro-Israel group rushes to defend the gesture, which critics compared with a Nazi salute. After Elon made the apparent Nazi salute at the inauguration rally for the United States President Donald Trump, the Anti-Defamation League ADL rushed to defend the SpaceX founder. The self-described anti-Semitism watchdog, leading anti-hate organizations in the world, dismissed Musk's raised arm as an awkward gesture in a moment of enthusiasm in a social media post on Monday. Okay, I'm not going to, it's a long article, but you can find it.
Yeah.
They said that that's what it was. I was shocked that the ADL did that. A lot of people were shocked that they did that. I was shocked. Because we know what we saw. And then he turned and did it to the flag.
Yep.
We know what we saw. People was in the magazines was trying to say, well, he has Asperger's and autistic or whatever the hell it is that Elon got. And and people was like, I know plenty of people who's autistic. They ain't going around doing no Nazi salute.
Yeah,
so I mean that was just.
I think that's pathetic too. That they use somebody that has those type of mental problems as an excuse for Elon's bad behavior. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
He don't have no Asperger or he ain't autistic or none of that bullshit. He just publicly make
an
ass out of himself. He publicly make an ass out of himself. Well, he can say what he want to, but I don't think that he does.
Know.
And it's a shame that they're using that type of illness to excuse his behavior.
to excuse stuff. Let me see, because let me see what they say this is. It's one of them. Elon Musk.
I think it's Asperger or
Uh,
whatever that is.
Asperger's is one of them. Or uh, let me put in, what's the one that a lot of is Elon Musk. Does he have Asperger? Autistic. Yeah, Elon Musk has publicly stated that he has Asperger's syndrome, a condition that is now classified as an autism spectrum. Well, I believe he has autism. Yeah,
I don't think
but
he
I
got
don't think
shit.
he
I
has.
think he's just stupid.
But I don't think he has Asperger's. I don't think he has that, because this is the reason why I say that. If you look up Asperger's, it's in the autism spectrum. But people, cause like Kanye West was his kind of hinted around it, and people who got stuff wrong with them, they will say Asperger's. And I'm not going to get into why, but a real famous genius had Asperger's, and a lot of rich, a lot of smart, genius people. That's why I don't believe he has Asperger's. I don't believe that. I believe he just said that. Something wrong with him.
I don't believe that.
But
I don't believe there's anything wrong with Kanye West either. I believe he's just a stupid ass. But you know, he publicly makes that claim to excuse how stupid he is, and people just go along with it. And I get it. So I'm not one to argue. But I've seen people without autism. I've seen people with Asperger, and these people, they don't have that. They just don't. And you know, I ain't no doctor.
I don't think that. I agree. I don't think he has Asperger's. And Kanye also said that. Wait a minute, Kanye, and that other thing Kanye claimed he had, and I do believe he has this bipolar. That he has bipolar and supposed to be taking medication. Now, I think he's bipolar. Which do you think that you believe that?
Well, I can't tell. The only way I think you get medicated.
He said he do. He do.
I think you get medicated for all of that stuff, and if he's on medicine, you know, I guess I wouldn't question it then, but I don't know. Just because he says that he likes Nazis one day and then changes his mind, that don't make you bipolar. That make you an idiot. That's just, you know, that's just my opinion.
But that's what he say. Kanye be telling a lot of lies and stuff too. So controversy. He has. Okay. The controversial rapper he refuted it that he had a bipolar diagnosis and claims to be. There he go, autistic. I don't. You know what? I thought it was saying he had bipolar, but they say he has since refuted that he got a bipolar diagnosis and now claims to be autistic. And that's what I was saying about the Asperger's. Controversial rapper Ye West has revealed that he has autism and believes he was misdiagnosed. Okay, that's just some shit he's saying. Never mind. He said that he think he was misdiagnosed. So he was diagnosed with bipolar. And he's saying that he think if he was misdiagnosed and that it's actually autism.
Okay,
but I know something wrong with him.
All right, so you know that girl, the one with the green planet, that girl Greta, whatever her name is.
Yes, Thornburg.
At her.
Or something like that.
Look at her. She's got Asperger or autism or something. Just look at her. People that has that problem looks like Greta. I ain't trying to say nothing.
Wait a minute, let me pull her up. Cyril, cause see, Greta. Let me see. R.E. Greta Thunberg. Yeah. Has. Let me see. Because I don't really know her. I know who she is.
Yeah, but if you look at her, you'll say okay.
Asperger.
Yeah, you'll say okay.
What
she's got Asperger.
She said she has Asperger's. That's a.
Did you find her picture yet?
Yeah, I'm looking at her. I don't know, because some people just look like stuff.
No. Okay, so
I don't know.
I'll pull up somebody else with
I know what
Asperger.
you.
I'll pull up somebody.
Elon Musk.
No, Elon Musk don't look like that.
Yes, he do. Elon must look crazy. You don't think so? It could be those hair plugs that he had put in.
You know, they got them kind of squinty eyes, and they just.
Yeah, I know. Cause I have a couple of autistic people in my family,
and then
they don't look.
There ain't nothing wrong with that, but
they don't quite look. They don't quite look like they have Down syndrome, but yeah, they have a look. Yeah. Not all of them, but
well, see, that's exactly what I was trying to say.
In the spectrum.
You seen people with Down syndrome. They're not fully Down syndrome and all that, but they have a certain things going on with their facial features. That ain't what Kanye look like. Yeah. That ain't what Elon look like. I think these people.
No, Elon do.
I think these people.
Elon do.
Let me pull up Elon.
I think Elon do, but I think Tyrone. I think
Elon is a.
No, Elon, because he got a bad his hair. Them plugs he got. I think he had some bad cosmetic surgery too. That's why he looked crazy. But I think Kanye's bipolar.
I don't think.
And you don't have to have a particular look for bipolar. You don't have to have a particular look to be bipolar. But Elon, Elon don't look right in the face.
I think he looks like a damn dope addict. That's what I think he looked like.
Well, he is that stuff that he's taking, so he got that going on. But I don't think I think there's something wrong with Elon and his hair, and he like some people they like let's see, he's awkward. And he doesn't have like self-awareness to his awkwardness. I can't think of the words to put it in. It's not coming to me right now.
Yeah.
But when he's like really excited, he's very awkward with it. How he be jumping around and looking and smiling. Something wrong with him, Tyrone.
I'm just saying we live in a society and we need to let people with autism have their space. And up until now, we have not heard people with autism and Asperger being such bad people in society. And now you got Kanye West and Elon Musk doing all these terrible things, and then they're blaming it on autism and Asperger, and that they shouldn't.
I agree with you. You need to let that be, and everybody's claiming that they got something.
Yeah.
Because I know my ex-sister-in-law had claimed that she had my ex, not my brother's wife. Well, she's not my sister-in-law. I don't know why I said that. One of my brother's ex-girlfriends claimed that she's bipolar. I don't believe that. She's just mean and nasty. But when people have stuff wrong, they love to be claiming they got stuff, and there's nothing wrong with you.
Yeah, you need to let those people have their space, and there's nothing wrong with having autism or Asperger.
No, ain't nothing wrong with that. That's who you are. You're a special human being. There's nothing wrong with that. And then when my mother was like, well, such and such said that she got bipolar, she's been on medication for years. I was like, we ain't never heard nothing about her being on medication. She's just mean and evil. She's not bipolar. But this is my brother's ex-girlfriend from long ago. And we used to say something was wrong, but she's not bipolar. She's just mean. And she just got her ways and sneaky and used to. I haven't seen her in, I don't know, about 20, but I remember when we had heard it was said that she had bipolarism. I was like, I don't believe it. So I agree with what you're saying. People claim stuff that they're not. Well, you're just really rotten. You're rotten.
And I can't disprove it because it's all out there in the public. People believe it and all that kind of stuff. This is just my opinion. I don't think neither one of those men has any of those illnesses. I think that they do things publicly and they're probably embarrassed, and then they say, okay, ooh, it was because of my autism or it was because of my, I think that's bullshit.
You might be right. I agree. I gotta go too.
All right.
I agree with you.
I'm gonna open up the lines, guys. If y'all want to call in, the lines are still open. But I appreciate it, Miss Elisa and Mama's Boy, Miss Lady, and Joe that called in. All right, I'll holler.
And we'll talk next week.
Okay.
Q&A session is over. All participants are unmuted.